first of 3 employment data points this morning at 8:15. The ADP employment change for August comes in lower than expected. 54,000 versus 65,000 expected. 65,000 exactly the prior print as well, I should say. Import-export data, still waiting for that to populate. We just got initial jobless claims, a little bit of an uptick. 237,000 last week versus 232,000 expected. 1.94 million versus 1.95 million on the continuing claims. There's that July import-export data. 280.5 billion on the export side, 358.8 billion on the import side, both a little bit higher than expected there. ADP number, though, a little bit of a downtick versus what was expected. We'll see what happens. Remember, big number coming up Friday morning with non-farm payrolls. These are never correlated. Everybody likes to try and make some sort of argument as to if the ADP number comes out in one direction, the rest will too, but it doesn't typically work out that way. Anyway, market back to the upside here a little bit this morning, trying to bounce. We have the 10-year, its lowest level since May this morning. So pretty good downtick here for yields right across the board, mainly on the long end of the curve, the 10-year and the 30-year. Nice little downtick, so maybe a little bit of relief here for stocks in the short term.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot of bond market, a lot of,
I don't know what's going on.
That was noisy there. It's Randy. A lot of money leaving the bond market, Brendo, heading into gold, apparently, and we've seen gold make all-time highs, so not really surprised by that. Lots to talk about today, guys. A whole bunch of earnings names. Yesterday, CRM markedly down here after reporting a worse-than-expected report. AEO up big. NVDA also a lot of China demand, despite the fact that the regulator in China doesn't want their tech companies buying these China chips. They don't care. They like them anyway, Brendo. Figma also reported, as well as C3AI. Still don't know what this company does, Brendo, but they're not doing well.
Apparently they don't either. I do know what just happened. We just got a big delivery of monitors. That's what that was. That you might have heard that in the background. So computer monitors have arrived.
Hey.
New desk is in the process of being set up. Yeah, a lot of job cuts at CRM as well. They're leaning really, really heavily towards the AI to replace humans, which, I mean, the forecast was bad.
They're pounding the table on this agent force agentic AI, but they're also using it internally, Brendo, and they're seeing a lot of efficiency. So as you mentioned, if you're seeing efficiencies, why hire?
Yeah, I mean, 4,000, I think it was.
Crazy.
Crazy, crazy. It's not even that big of a company. On a relative basis. Like, it's not even that big of a company. Anyway, yeah, CRM down, better part of 7% here. We'll keep an eye on that. A couple other things moving around. I mean, Tesla, we'll talk about. AEO, the huge one to the upside here this morning. Big pop. Sean, you were all over that late in the day yesterday.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, what's up, Neil? It's a rainy day around here today, and
indoors and outdoors.
I saw when those monitors were rolling in, I think the guys thought it was thunder or something like that.
I know.
But yeah, we're getting ready. So the plan is basically just to sort of shift this desk down there and use new equipment so that we can build multiple desks. And
looks like they're the same monitors though.
Yeah,
because they're Asus.
I don't know. Are they? They're going to be?
I don't know if they're bigger.
They're going to be the same thing. But yeah, American Eagle. I mean, Neil and I, we both talked about this yesterday when we were looking at potential winners versus losers. Hey, what's up, Randy?
Hey.
Those were the monitors that just came in. We heard about. Yeah. All right.
Here's to George Springer.
Nice American.
Springer dingers.
Yes, we were losing 5-0 yesterday.
What a comeback.
And we wound up winning 13-9 or something like that. Our bullpen's still
not that good.
I know, which is crazy. They're still scoring 9 runs on us, which is a problem. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed what jeans Randy was wearing, but they're probably American Eagle Outfitters or whatever those are there. But yeah, we saw Sidney Sweeney. We saw Travis Kelce.
Get rid of Kelce. Get Randy
involved now as well. But yeah, much better EPS, much better sales. Like it is. I don't know.
Fundamentally good too. Like they were expecting declines in same-store sales, and
then we also had the short float idea behind it as well. Remember, we looked up names like Gap and A&F, and we looked at Walmart and some of the retail spaces, and everything was going good, and we picked American Eagle Outfitters yesterday, and there it goes right there to the upside, and obviously a lot more than I think anybody would have thought. The implied move was 12% or so, but again, once you make these kind of moves, you're all the way back to where you were at the beginning of the year. So this year to date was actually crushed, right? I mean, it was down $10. We opened the year right here around $17, $18. We make it all the way back and finally looking to turn green on the year. So I think there's more room to run on this, especially if we do not hold this 1770, 1750 area. Like if we get up there and break it, I think we can even continue this move. You know, MongoDB, a much, you know, bigger, different kind of name. They went up 32% or so. American Eagle Outfitters doesn't have, I do not believe, a overall huge market cap, right? AEO. Oops. Oh man, it always gives the wrong one. AEO. There we go. I have to select. I did it wrong again. AEO. All right, here it is right here. Let me see what the market cap on this bad boy is. Right now at $2 billion. So, you know, you have quite a ways to go on here as well. 26% short float. So American Eagle Outfitters right there trading higher. The company reported better than expected Q2 financial results. And there we go to the upside for AEO. But obviously a story of, I don't own any AEO, but I own CRM. So
the CRM.
That's a little less of a stock today.
The problem with all the earnings last night is you had to begin with the letter A, and you had to have a Sydney Sweeney campaign, because literally everything. Actually, Asana was up, so Asana was the only one. But then, you had to keep you start with letter A, keep your CEO. Because then the Asana didn't. C3 AI is the one that bucked that trend. Because C3 AI, new CEO, 52-week lows. You've got Figma's first report. It'd be hard pressed to find exactly what's terrible about that Figma first report, but I guess some people are concerned what AI is going to do with this company, and they can pick a good game. But that's another. It's easy to say an all-time low because it's a recent IPO there, but like a quarter of the employees are now able to sell shares, and maybe they're doing some of that, down 15%. So it's an American Eagle story.
Yeah.
And speaking of the letter A, do not forget, the biggest earnings name comes after the bell tonight, and that is going to be Broadcom. I think there's a lot riding on this one for the market going into next week's Fed, obviously tomorrow's job numbers. So we got a lot to get to today. Certainly, if you own some AEO shares, you're going to be happy about it. If you're a CRM shareholder, then you are not. I'm considering break even out, which could hit today because it could break that 230 today.
Look, Broadcom, the 8th largest company in the world. All right, so they're coming tonight. The 8th largest company in the world, maybe more important than NVIDIA for some reasons. We'll talk about why. U.S. jobless claims right there, 237 versus 230. So that coming out as expected. I mean, 7,000 on 230 is not going to move the needle one way or the other, but it's a little more jobless claims than expected, so that's not great. But all right, I mean, maybe better for cutting, right? So, it looks like that rate's probably now up to 93, 94%. And this is interesting. USA non-farm productivity up. So that's nice. A little more productive there while we seek for some more jobs. So couple interesting numbers there. Not really moving the market at all. What's some news stories here? I don't really see anything too much going on. Trade balance prior revised -60 versus -59. So nothing going on there. And then if you look at the market, that sort of last little move here on the triple Qs, not much. Here's the Nasdaq right here. No action this morning, down, up right now, looking like it wants to go a little lower. Underneath VWAP, I think the market, here's a little bit of a bigger look on the Nasdaq. It looks like we're going this way, right? So I'm not sure which feeling I have today anyways in the market early. I'm thinking short, but that can always change. So yeah, it should be a fun day. I'm really excited for Broadcom tonight. Really excited to trade some of these earnings. Crypto back down after a nice little run yesterday. We got to 112 or so.
Still holding 10.
Still holding, yeah, it's still holding. It's a good. And I was reading something that Kevin O'Leary was writing, and I think it's similar to, or tweeting or something. It's similar to what I think as well. And it's just like, if Bitcoin goes down, I actually don't mind, like, here's Cardano, but I don't mind waking up one day and seeing the market like crashed 10% or something, because that's gonna, if you believe in the space and you want to buy some crypto, down into here isn't that bad. Stocks do test 200 period moving averages. You don't want to lose them and have a huge problem. But remember, this was April when we lost it, and the market lost everything back then. I don't think we're in danger right now of any sort of tariff move in the market. I mean, we are in danger of a slow grind down, I think, when we start talking again about valuation, about lack of catalyst, about September being a bad month. But if that brings Bitcoin down into 100, then I really do like that. Yesterday we had Ethereum as well. Absolutely was up 5% or something yesterday on a nice little move there, giving a little bit back today. But the same might be true for Ethereum. If you can get this, now it's had basically an epic rise, right? So it's 200 period. You're not going to get anywhere close to that right now. But that would be obviously
super extended.
Super extended. Like I sold in here.
It's a healthy pullback.
And then it ripped. So yeah. And then just to check another one, the one that's been moving the most has been Solana. What's it at today? 207. So it's having a problem breaking out as well. But crypto down isn't the end of the world. I feel like that's something that I was telling you. I think it's about 3 to 5%. I wouldn't mind getting a little more.
We're due for one of those.
Account there.
We're due for one of those weekend, dips that you see where like, oh, there's just some liquidation,
right?
Like Sunday morning or whatever.
I
just feel like that usually happens every now and then when you've made a little bit of a top. Another name that begins with letter A that is going, there's a couple of positive stories for Amazon, but Amazon's leading the way. Like the market, I mean, after what was, I think, not bad numbers.
Need to find a long.
The NQ's basically flat, up like 0.1%, but Amazon's up 2.4%. There's a story this morning about their AWS resurgence, among other things, expansion in India, in buy now, pay later. So this looks pretty good.
What happened to Meta, by the way?
And just the only thing is it's at a resistance spot. So I'm looking for a dip buy here in Amazon. But there's a few names this morning.
740, it's not that.
AMD was one that.
160.
AMD was one that, with NVIDIA kind of up, AMD took a little bit of a dive early pre-market. The only thing I could find was like a single downgrade. So yeah, like it's a very mixed morning where you've got some strength. Go over and look at Amazon. Still think Google looks pretty good after yesterday, but AMD curiously weak. Losing the 50 period on the daily for AMD here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it's
not good for that one.
Yeah, this is kind of like at the precipice of, okay, well, you've pulled back and you've consolidated, but if you take another leg down from here, some of that AMD rally that everyone's been so excited about could come under pressure here. Down 1.5% into a flat market. Not a good start for them. But yeah, a lot to cover for sure. I've seen some people putting some names in the chat.
Yeah,
what I like about it is everyone's putting in the dollar sign.
Yeah.
Dollar signs.
Have we loaded that thing?
The funny thing is I just went over to do the fresh start and it did not fresh start.
I did, because there's only 4 votes. Must have.
Okay, here we go. AMD, Amazon, Neon. I don't even know what that is.
Neither do
AEO, I expect to be up there for sure. Neon.
Yeah, get your push in here for Oscar right now. What's up to everybody? Bang, 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 as mankind likes to say. You guys know we talked about this again. The day of we were talking about Oscar up here, Oscar Health. And then it came back in, and then they reported, and we took a shot on this name, and we've not gotten anything out. So we're gonna, I think today, these are the levels, right? I mean, when you make a call down here, we're long at, I hope some of you are long this name as well. 1350 or so on Oscar, up to 1850 right now. This is like a 35% move or so to the upside on OSCR. Maybe worth getting something out today on Oscar, but again, congratulations to everybody that was able to run that one as well. But Google on a pullback today off a day 2-ish. Move. I mean, obviously the move happened 3 days ago in the aftermarket, 2 days ago in the aftermarket. Then yesterday we traded, and now today we get another move for Google. It was down 0.5% or so. Has something changed here in the last couple seconds? Yeah, down 0.8 right now for Google. So that's starting to head a little bit lower, but all-time highs yesterday made for Google. So we talked about trying to find relative strength. Today might be relative weakness for some strange reason. I'm not going to short it.
Not in that Neon stock, there isn't.
You find the story for that?
Well, I just looked it up. It looks like, so NEON, it's a Stockholm-based company apparently, and it's weird because they got a settlement from Samsung. Like, it's not very big, like $15 to $20 million would seem to be the story. That they got a settlement.
Maybe it wasn't that colorful.
Maybe they were expecting much bigger of a settlement. because they're down 75%. It was 80% a minute ago. Not good at all, but it's doing good volume, so maybe that's the reason why everyone's interested. It's done 10 million already in pre-market and starting to bounce. Yeah, that should be on the small cappers' radars. But the only story I could find was that they got a $20 million windfall from Samsung in a settlement. Yeah,
my guess is that they were thinking that was going to be a heck of a lot
hundreds of
bigger
millions or billions
than
or
that.
something.
I mean, I would think 20 million.
20 million doesn't seem like
that barely pays Joseph over here.
But how big is this? The company's not very big. So.
No, I'd imagine it's not very big. All right, it's 8:45. I like that call on Amazon. We're going to look into some reasons why that one's popping off.
Yeah.
I got Tesla written down already as my long idea. We're going to look for some short ideas. We're going to figure this all out and get some trading going. Opendoor still above 5. Many names moving around here today. Yeah, exactly. We'll try to hang around there. Rivian yesterday was up. Tesla moving around. Apple news. The story doesn't stop. Meta's up to 750 again. It's going to be a good day, I feel like, today, with a lot of names sort of hovering and making decisions. So, all right, go back to the desk and figure out what they're talking about. Gold all-time highs.
Sure. We're just talking about this skinny iPhone that's coming, allegedly. iPhone 17. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting, Brendo.
Samsung did the same thing. It's kind of, I mean, it's a phone, but it's skinnier. At this point, they're just
there's a lot of trade-offs too. Like you're going to have a smaller camera, you're going to have a smaller battery, and when you throw on a case, and most people will, well, you want to protect it. It's going to become big again. So if you're expecting this thing to be like super slim all the time and maintain the form factor, it's not going to be like that.
If you go back in time, we went through this phase, I remember, of everything was getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and then it kind of went the other way again.
Exactly.
It was a focus on the battery, it was a focus on the camera, and we gave back some of that skinniness. But it just seems like they're reaching at this point.
And they're still behind on the foldables. I know there's mixed feelings about the foldables, about how the hinge influences the screen and stuff like that. But Huawei, again today, dropping another foldable phone. We'll get to that on the news during the midday show. No real thing to cover here, obviously, because Huawei is not tradable in North America. But yeah, just like the entire segment here seems to go in a direction. Apple, true to form, takes their time, likes to perfect the technology before releasing it.
Yeah, here's Apple right now. Moffett-Nathanson with an upgrade on Apple today to neutral from sell. So not exactly overly positive, but an upgrade's an upgrade.
Sorry, just want to mention one quick thing. We're expecting the first price increases, Brendo, on the iPhone since 2017. So that should be margin expanding. So we'll see.
Maybe not 3,000.
$50, they're saying. US dollars, though. We'll see.
So 3,000 in Canadian dollars. In Canada.
Yeah.
Apple, guys, not doing a heck of a lot here, but 238 up to 240-ish. Bit of a problem spot here the past couple of days.
Well,
I got 99 problems and Apple.
I'd say yesterday was the only time that high was a problem.
Yeah.
Because the aftermarket, the thing about the aftermarket
been 6 straight up days.
Yeah, the aftermarket move doesn't really count as much for a top because there's no big money that's really getting in and holding it up. It's just going to slow down at some point. When you got that when the Google antitrust, it was really just yesterday that you couldn't get through that 239. But higher low, and technically today, until proven otherwise, you're trying to put in another higher low as well. So it held on 235. It didn't really fill in the entirety of the gap. The trend is still holding going into the event. See, I'd be more concerned about next week. Like I think the point at which you're looking for the sell on Apple would be sell the news next week on the 9th, but I still kind of believe you're trending higher going into it. So I don't know, Amazon looks stronger today and Google was stronger yesterday, so I don't know if this one's going to be on the list for the longs. I kind of prefer the other two names, but I wouldn't be terribly concerned yet till you get to next week when I think typically you look for a sell the news event on an iPhone release. It's not overwhelmingly that it always happens, but it's at least better than 50%.
The funniest part about all this is we sit here, and the only thing we can really say too bad about Apple is they're so far behind on AI, but they're actually, in my opinion, the smartest guys in the room on AI. Because now they're going to get someone to pay them to put AI on their machines. It's actually the opposite of Apple just saved hundreds of billions of dollars, and someone's going to pay them now with that court decision yesterday or 2 days ago. Someone's going to pay Apple now for them to use their AI. They don't need to do anything. It's just like Chrome. All of a sudden, Google, they can't deal without having Apple. So now Google's going to say, okay, Why don't we just install Gemini on your phones, keep it in there, we'll make it work with Siri, and we'll pay you $20 to $50 billion.
I don't know if they'll have to pay, though.
They will have to. Apple will make them, or if they don't pay, you know who will pay, Neil? Perplexity, Anthropic,
I don't know
anything Amazon is doing. Google is paying Apple for Chrome. So I don't see the difference here.
Well, only because the reason because I think it'll just get that one in particular gets baked into Chrome because it's gonna Gemini will get baked in. So I think that stays. I think it would be more likely somebody.
Yeah, just
else.
the app. Like it's they'll pay. What I'm saying is now Apple will make.
No,
money.
I think that decision was huge for Apple yesterday. And I actually thought in some ways it would be undercover how good it was for Apple relative to Google. That ended up not being true in terms of the way the market saw it, but I still kind of believe that to be true. But I don't know. Today, I still like Amazon and Google more than I like
I mean,
Apple
I like. Today. Well, yeah. I mean, they're down today.
I thought Apple had a chance to break out yesterday, and it didn't. But I still think it does before the 9th. That's usually
that's part of the problem.
I'll be surprised if we don't break out before the 9th.
I mean, look. You tell me what the market thought about this decision. Apple is a $2.4 trillion company. On that decision, they added 6%, 7%, something like that. So that rate there is $300 billion, something like that, just on that decision, which Apple was just waiting for it. You know, part of the reason why Apple was beat up so much was that a lot of traders and a lot of analysts thought that decision was going the other way, and that Apple would lose 20 billion revenue from Chrome. Apple would then have to rethink, this AI strategy, would have to rethink the way the App Store works and all of that. Right now, Apple is sitting there literally probably taking phone calls right now. How much can we pay you to install AI on your base? For example, my house is littered with, and we talked to this with Randy, littered with Apple products. We now have 5 iPhones in the house. I have 5 members. We now have only 2 MacBooks, but we have 5 Apple Watches. It's just, this is the way. We have Apple TV. We have everything is installed, and it's a huge base. We don't have to tell everybody that. Everybody already understands that. The foldable phone. Anyways, I'm not excited about that. And if it comes through, great. I mean, I think it's possible. I think the skinny version of the phone is huge. I think a lot of people want to put that phone in their pocket and make it a little bit easier. I'm not too worried about the battery. I think that was a good point that Brendan brought up. If it's a skinnier phone, does the battery have a lesser life? I feel like with where technology is,
at this point
they'll probably release a battery that you can't even see that for somehow is 10 times stronger than the current one, but I don't know anything about that stuff. So anyways, obviously I'm bullish about Apple. It's one of the more recent purchases, but I've been buying Apple literally. When I actually purchased the very first iPhone, and when I purchased that iPhone, I went and bought Apple stock that day as well. So we're talking about basically generational buys down there, and I feel like
the hilarious thing is I've owned Apple forever because of my family, but I'm the only one in my family that doesn't use Apple, and it's just a preference thing. But at the end of the day, it's like when you invest, you can't worry about what you prefer. Because what you're trying, it's what the market.
Have you tried
what the market prefers. Of course I have. Literally everybody in my family has.
But have you used it? Oh, you've used it. Okay.
I just don't love. Like, to be perfectly honest, and I'm being straight up about this. I still can't stand the fact that I don't have my BlackBerry. It bugs me to all hell that someone didn't just It would have been great if one of the major carriers had just bought them and they could still have the keyboard out there. And one thing, just for in the chat, there was a question about TXN, and I'm not sure what's going on here with TXN. They're down 5 points. I was kind of looking for the store while we were talking and going back and forth, but this is a pretty decent drop for Texas Instruments. I want to see if we can't figure out what's going on with them, because I haven't seen a particular story. There's a city conference that they have execs speaking at, but I can't figure out what they said specifically, which is why causing this drop. Obviously, something that's getting said at this city conference is causing this to fall. Maybe they got a downgrade or something, which we could find out.
I wanted to, but before we go over to Joe, though, I want to ask Brendan, because he just switched over a week ago. So I just wanted to ask him, like, any major differences, anything like that, because, like, I've now been with Apple for probably, like, 4 or 5 years, so I can't even remember my experience back in switching. But any comments so far, Brendo?
The biggest thing I think is the AI. Or lack thereof with Android and Google specifically. The voice activation was so seamless and so easy to get to Gemini. But I mean, it's built right in. Like if you just open a Chrome tab. So I mean, the crossover is not that hard. It's really not that big a deal, no.
Okay. Yeah. All right, good. So happy so far, or just kind of middle of the road?
Very similar. It's very, very similar. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, good. Thanks, Brendo, for the similarity aspect there between the two. I think that's right. I mean, I remember when I went over, it was like it's all the same, of course. So, all right, what's going on over there with Joe and the upgrades and downgrades?
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. Yes, a lot of individuals bullish on Apple this morning. MoffettNathanson at the top of the list. And then Towsley Advisory Group giving the double nod to some of these retail names here. So American Eagle getting that price target raised to $18, and then Macy's also to $17. Now, Northland Capital raising the price target on Webull to $18. Now, on the downside, we have Seaport Research downgrading AMD, and then D.A. Davidson also downgrading Duolingo with a price target of $300. And then Figma by Morgan Stanley reporting earnings, price target lowered to $80. And then Salesforce as well. Guys, with that earnings report, BMO Capital Markets lowering that price target to $335.
Were you able to find out why that AMD was downgraded at all, or?
Yeah, it's like...
No, okay, yeah, because I was just thinking to myself too, like...
What are the comments?
Yeah, Neil and I were like, this is down today, and it's down pretty decently there, trying to break through that 160 mark. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to find out about why. I didn't know if Joe had sort of come across that, but yeah, nice move there, and did not hold yesterday's levels. So I'm actually thinking of a short in this name for AMD. That's why I wanted to figure out what was going on, because NVIDIA still 5 straight down days or so, I think, for NVIDIA, maybe 4 or 5 straight down days now for NVIDIA, but they're up today. So yeah, that looks about right here for NVDA off earnings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so today looking like it wants to be the 6th day of downness. You're up though today. So yeah, for me, the most interesting name on here is going to be AMD. Just got to figure out what's up with that, basically. And once we figure out that, then we will put it on the sticky note. But 162, I like it short for AMD. If we get anywhere near yesterday's areas close, let's go short on AMD. I'm not really feeling the market right now either. So,
but the market's kind of blah. I mean, like we kind of mentioned, that losing that 50 period on AMD already is not that great. I just tried a quick little search to see if I could find some notes that this Seaport might have cited for AMD. But the other name on that list that's of at least some interest, because I think we're heading right back down in here for it to catch an upgrade, is Webull. Since their report, that's lost to 50. That's trending back down. It hasn't really found a bottom yet, at least, knock on wood. But we do have a double bottom for the last 2 days here on Webull at 1280. So double bottom. If it can hold on to that today, then I think you've got yourself a little bit of a post-earnings bounce level for Webull. The upgrade doesn't really matter to me. It's not doing enough volume that this ends up being a day trade. But certainly, we talk about just letting things settle down after they report. And obviously, this is one that you would like to have gone the other way. It head faked everybody, despite not that bad numbers. It's finally finding a little bit of a bottom here. So yeah, this will be on the list, I think, for a potential trade or swing tomorrow, because I'm looking to get back into it. And WCM, good tunes in the chat. GameStop, thank you for the super chat, first of all, $9.99.
GameStop.
And I love that you did the $9.99, because GameStop has earnings on September 9th. They are literally printing money with their power packs, that area in beta testing right now, plus PS2 sales, $9 billion cash in Bitcoin. You're thinking earnings to the upside. What's crazy about GameStop, excuse me, not that I'm sneezing, no, but what's crazy about GameStop is how incredibly sideways this stock has been going for so long. I can't remember, like, the games, this is GameStop since June. $22 holding like a charm, and it hasn't even touched 25. So for this entire, for the whole summer, effectively, most of the summer, it's been in a $2.50 range doing absolutely nothing. So I think if you break out of here, why wouldn't you want it? Forget about which direction it breaks. Usually, any stock that consolidates this long, I think part of it might need, if you get another Bitcoin rally, that could be another positive sign. If you get that, plus maybe some good earnings, I think you could throw that out there that it could go. But it's been crazy sideways, at least for now. I think you just, until the earnings, if you can get it at 22 or anything back into that 22, it's been holding. Like, why not? You just take a quick little shot in there on GME. So thank you for the super chat. But it's wild that this stock has not been moving for so long. Pure sideways action on GME for a while. It is not the squeeze play anymore, but that doesn't mean it can't come back into favor after earnings. Let's get on into it. It's already 9 o'clock. I know we've got our free watch list locked and loaded with a lot of earnings names to get to, and maybe check in on the markets.
64.58, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES September contract, which is slowly catching up to that expiry date. All right, so the overnight low, guys, 64.54. So we're using that 50-point area as our support level for now. The overnight high is 73. So we're not going to say 25-point range. We're going to say 6,500 if we really get going as resistance, Brendo.
All right. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take advantage of a free, absolutely fantastic resource. Jump down to the description of this video. Top link will get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. Absolutely free. Again, every single day. Comes right to your inbox. All you need is your email. I was just counting up. There's probably 6 or 7 or 8 even analyst moves here, all positive and very positive on, there's a couple of price targets lowered, but for the most part, either maintaining overweight or maintaining buy, positive language behind all of them when it comes to Salesforce, even with this forecast, a bit of a mess, to say the least. We're seeing a nice bounce back here right now.
Well, it's getting cheap, Brendo. It's down 23% year to date, so maybe time to buy, depending on your look. So let's talk about EPS. Let's talk about how they did on their earnings. EPS came in at 291, beating the 278 expected by the street on revenue of 10.24 billion, beating the 10.14 and a 10% year-over-year increase on that top line number. With their net income a little bit shy of $2 billion, $1.89 billion in take-home money. Not a bad look there, but it was the disappointing forward guidance that sent this one about 5% or more after down after hours. Q3 EPS came in at 284 to 286. The midpoint there, 285 on revenue of 10.24 to 10.29 billion. That was a slightly light number. The full year guidance maintains. They maintain that same revenue outlook of 41.1 to 41.3 billion, but they did raise their EPS forecast to above estimates $11.33 to $11.37. Guidance was viewed as conservative by the street. Market reaction is shares are down 23% year to date, with the lagging basically all the other Dow components. They announced, though, a $20 billion share buyback expansion, bringing the total program now, Brendo, to about $50 billion. And yes, that Agent Force AI, they claim to have about 6,000 paid deals. Benioff emphasized it's not just about repackaging ChatGPT. These are unique products. The company's actually using their AI agents internally, and they announced an $8 billion acquisition of a company called Informatica, strengthening their data management push.
Just got one more to add to the list from Cantor Fitzgerald, reiterating overweight on Salesforce. Their price target up at $325 on CRM, guys.
Sales drop. What's interesting about that is, I don't know, the Informatica, like that buyout, like it's dropping for no reason that I can find out. CRM's still doing the deal, so it seems like it would be fine. But before we get to that, where would the super chat go? Oh, there it is. The other one disappeared. Before we get to this, bada bing, bada ding, sorry, not bada bing, bada ding in the chat. SOLT, the 2X Solana, and no comment, just I guess you're bullish on Solana today. That's what I'm gonna get. That's what I'm gonna take from that. So shout out to you and appreciate the super chat. Look, don't like that guide from CRM. This is one that had been running into earnings. The spot that I think is important, if you look at it, it's like a triple bottom here at around 230. I think if it loses 230, I think this is in trouble. That said, we're already bouncing. So the opportunity to maybe catch it off of that 230 level is now, I'd say, near zero. because we're at $242. So the bounce has kind of already happened in here. I think you got to let this one settle down for a couple of days. But if it loses 230 this week, I think they're going to be in trouble here. So it looks like we just got news on Lucid. Lucid announced it's closed a $300 million investment into the company by Uber. So Uber and Lucid, oh, wow, look at that massive spike in Lucid shares on that news. Already then. Yeah, back to CRM and AEO. Oh my goodness. You can't even, there's 100,000 shares of volume and it popped like 5 cents. Okay, fine. 10 cents maybe. 15 if we're being nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, Lucid's.
It's not down. It's up 1%.
Yeah, Lucid's been done for a minute there. Look, I like all of the upgrades, obviously, here for Salesforce. I mean, down 5% doesn't seem that bad. I mean, the expected move was actually higher than this. The expected move was 7 or 8% there on Salesforce. I like Mark Benioff. It's taken them a while to get this all figured out. The Informatica deal is an old one, just closing now. So, yeah, it's bouncing basically off of support again. So I really like that play there off 230, 233, 234. So, yeah, I like that there. Oh, Buffalo Bills and SoFi. Okay, Josh Allen there. So
Bye.
everyone taking handouts these days. But there it is right there. 230. At least he's not Kawhi Leonard. 230 to 235. I mean, I hope that's not a Kawhi Leonard situation down there. SoFi, a much bigger company. But I like this. 230 to 235. Great support. That's obviously where it's been. So I think it's a long now. If you're not in Salesforce, I would take a shot. Normally it's a 3-day rule. I'd take a shot down here right now, pick something up around 240 and see what winds up happening. So yeah, I really, I like that play moving to the upside. I didn't see Benioff last night. Someone there in the chat says he wasn't that great on Mad Money, but I know Jim Cramer loves him, so I'm not sure what exactly was going on there or anything like that. But Neil's looking up that SoFi news.
No, I'm looking up what's going on.
I just wanted to see if anything was happening with it. I don't know, man. Hopefully they get their money out of Josh Allen here and they can get a nice upside bump. But no movement. If you look at SoFi, it's not moving at all right now. So we can poke fun at Lucid with that Uber deal and poke fun at SoFi here with Josh Allen. But the thing starts tonight, so NFL should be a lot of fun starting there tonight. I'm either at the ballpark till 10:30 or at hockey till 8:30. It's just a matter of whatever the rain hits. Tonight. So I'll be able to see the second half.
I thought the rain was gonna stop.
It's supposed to stop, but it was raining really bad. So I'm hoping that it stops at some point.
Come on, rain. I got no one going tonight. Although I'm just gonna remind you, we probably need to make our suicide picks because tonight's game is one of the better odds. I kind of like Arizona versus
we have to
Saints,
look.
but
Arizona versus
Philly is one of the bigger favorites, one of the bigger favorite teams. Before we go back to the desk here, the gap is halted news pending. So there it is. I mean, I could show you the level 2, but like it's essentially halted.
They're also signing Sydney Sweeney. That
would be hilarious if. No, they're probably not, but it's somewhat related to our next company, which is going to be AEO. But gap halted news pending. We'll see if we don't have that news matriculate on in. But we know what the news is with American Eagle.
Yep.
It's flying.
AEO, I was just looking at this one as well. SoundHound downside right now, partnering with Primary Health, rolling out Dennis, the name of it, an AI-powered patient engagement platform. So it didn't really move on that, but SOUN with a headline there as well. Let's talk about AEO, biggest one to the upside by far this morning on a beat. Trying to get back to highs right now. Again, right across the board, wasn't much negative about this.
Oh, baby, Brendo. That's all I got to say. Oh, baby. So this was one of my swing trades. American Eagle, big move aftermarket, surging nearly 24% into pre-market trading, fueled by excitement over the high-profile celebrity campaigns. More on that in a second. Still has a dated short float here of about 16.6%, with the shares still down about 18%. That's prior to the move. So we'll have to see where it closes out on the day. It could be break even. So as we know, they launched campaigns with Sydney Sweeney and NFL star Travis Kelce, but they also have a lot more. They got Coco Gauff, Jenna Ortega, and Kelsey's True Colors brand. The fall denim line, their Great Jeans campaign, brought in what the company's calling an unprecedented new customer acquisition, according to the CEO. So I have to see how that sales outlook does. Speaking of the sales outlook, comparable sales, Brendo, expected to rise in the low single digits for the quarter, and their annual sales outlook, they're calling actually for a 1.1%, better. They're actually, their comparable sales are supposed to be flat. Analysts were calling for a 1.1% drop.
She has good genes.
I would agree.
Apparently.
Yeah. Stock has good.
I'm disagreeing with that. There's still chocolate left?
Last one.
I didn't even eat this.
Oh, we had extra ones.
Tiny little.
You have another one, right?
Henry, nah. Look, AEO, I think it's got a chance to go even more than this. You can't discount the short float, right? And I mean, ultimately, I'll be kind of curious to see what the gap news is in a second, but I'm assuming it's not going to be anything too much more exciting than you have 27% up, good same-store sales surprise. Ultimately, you've also got all this free advertising that they're getting out of this as well, which is absolutely humongous. Right? Like, just you can say whatever you want about conferences. No such thing as bad advertising. So either way, more eyeballs and then more people buying the jeans, and that's all that really matters. And then short sellers get scared, which I think they are. And if it breaks about 1770, that's another local high. But until that happens, you're still inside range. I liked all the way back into 16.3. 16 1/3 is kind of where I was willing to be a dip buyer off the open, because I do suspect you'll get some profit taking close enough to that resistance level. So if we get down into that 16.3 to 16.5 area, that's where I'm looking for the dip buy on AEO, and keep our ears to the ground on that gap halt.
Look, I have it right here on the stick. You know, you can go find it. I'll put this. It's also on Instagram. I'll put that up in a second as well. Right here, I think the short is right here, actually. So 1750 to 18. I mean, I don't know. That it's where it is right now. Strong quarter, short flow 25%. The reason why I put but, I think the quarter was great. There's no doubt about that. But the fact that it's up more than double what its expected move was obviously has something, because it's being fueled there. And I just looking right here at this level, like we said, AEO just finally now starting. And look, it was a pick that I made yesterday as well, right? So, but again, I'm not in it. We just talked about a big potential runner. So it ran right into this level again, going back all the way, trying to put this stock green for the year. That's a great accomplishment, obviously, on a big, huge move. But so this was a little bit of a follow through there. Then it came back in. Then this was a nice move. Then it came back in. That was a huge move, came back in and went lower. So this is now a nice move. So let's wait to see what that next play is here for AEO. If they like it, they'll hold it green on the year. If they don't, this will bring it right back down. So I'm going to use 18, because I wrote down 1750 to 18, right? So the fact that we're here right now, like I said yesterday with Tesla, I'm not trying to make a trade within the first minute or so on American Eagle Outfitters, not when it's ripping around like that. So we'll wait. I'll put an offer. Wait a minute, I'm going to try 100 shares. Do I have to pay for shorts? This is something that you should always do first. No. So right there. So at least 100 shares is free. So we'll sit up there at 1780 or so, take a short, see if it holds 18. If not, then we'll fly out of this one. American Eagle Outfitters, again, a huge name, huge number today. Small cap name. It's $2 billion market cap. Has a chance to go even higher than this, 28%. Double the expected move. I like the stock. I think it goes higher.
Oh, man. 3 showing 20 videos. Figma just broke day lows here, staying pretty red on the day, to say the least here. Bit of a mess as far as the earnings are concerned here for Figma. There is a portion, you were mentioning before we came on here, there's a portion of the lockup that's expiring today as well.
Yeah, so I'll just get to that right away, because I was typically at the end. So the lockup expiration today, 25% though of employees, guys, are freed on September 4th. So with another tranche locked up until August of 26. In fact, large investors holding over half of the Class A shares of the company agreed to that extended lockup, adding to the price stability of the company. So only 25% unlocks today. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about how they did, Brendo. The first earnings report since the July IPO, down sharply from the IPO debut high of 115, though still well above that $33 initial IPO price, despite the results beating expectations, partly due to concerns about the future growth of and moderation is why we're selling off. Q2 results, let's talk about that break-even EPS with no estimate on revenue of $249.6 million. That beat the $248.8 expected by the street, and revenue continues to grow nicely, about 41% year over year, up from that $177 million they printed last year when they were a private company, by the way. Net income turned positive, Brendo, taking a little bit less than $1 million, $846,000, compared with a loss of $827,000 last year. Adjusted operating income comes in at $11.5 million, with that's in line with guidance, and their Q3 revenue guiding $263 to $265 million, implying about a 33% upside from the current levels.
Just checking the float size here. Total outstanding is 487 million, but 163.3 million shares are available. So 40-ish. Potentially, if it's 25% of that, could be available to sell today. So pretty weak here, guys, for FIG today.
Yeah, and with that limited lockup, and considering that that's still a very healthy gain for anyone that got the issue price, obviously, it's all the reason in the world to see some potential profit taking. It's already broken out the lows, so you can throw out. I mean, I can essentially throw out like 61.5, maybe not yet the pre-market high. If we get some kind of a pullback into the upside, it'll be SSR, so it's over 10% down, so you'll have the uptick rule in effect right away at the open. Sometimes you catch a bit of a bid there, but I'm only really looking short here. This is a situation where it's their first report, so price action is going to be king, and it's confirming the continuation of a downtrend, so I don't see any reason to look in any other direction than to look to short some pops, right? Like this stock had essentially one good day, and since then, maybe there's like a second bounce in here off of like $80 or so, but it's had only a couple of good moments in what has been a slide, and it's still trying to find a home. And with that lockup, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't be looking for some kind of a sell to come in. I'm open to the idea that it's going to bounce, but that's just to look for an opportunity to be short, right? Because it's not as if I expect shares to just dump in at 9:30. That could happen, but if the stock starts going up, I expect there to be selling going into any of these upward moves, especially that volume weighted average price. If I see VWAP holding, and I know there's a bunch of shares that just got released, yeah, I can see all the reason in the world to join that party.
Yeah, I mean, Figma, Adobe tried to buy them. They came to market. They were hyped up. Now they're getting back in. I think that Adobe value is something like around $20 or $30 on this stock. So with lockup happening, it's not going to be a good idea here. Figma short for sure. And I think you can just go short all day. I mean, there hasn't really been, in its lifetime, look, it was a great IPO, believe me when I tell you that. But, there hasn't really been very much to celebrate. And it's going to continue today. So breaking lower, I don't know. I'm not hearing anybody talk too positively about the space right now. I mean, you could just look at Adobe, like one of their competitors. Like if you just sort of try to think about what this stock is also doing, it's down. And right now, software as a service just isn't popping. And we're going to have to wait to see if Figma and Adobe can hold some of these lows. I don't like the space. I would much rather put some money to work on CRM today than Figma or any of these artsy software as service programs. So, anyways, that's it for Adobe and Figma. AI tanks. So it'd be kind of cool when they put AI into tanks. That, of course, would be Palantir. So shout out to Palantir. But
probably already.
I think we're actually talking about C3 AI, not AI in tanks.
I'm guessing we are.
I was listening to a podcast, Jay Leno's Garage. Jay Leno owns 2 tanks.
Of course.
So yeah.
Because of course he does.
Would be nice to be in his family once that car collection, getting that passed down.
Can't you drive a tank? And I think we've had this discussion before. Can't you go to Vegas and drive tanks?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably an area or maybe not just Nevada, but I think there's
they probably don't let you. You could probably.
I don't think you can fire it. Well, no, I think if you got a permit. Probably could.
Do you get to just you guys, everyone in the chat? Is there somewhere in the U.S. that you can actually not only drive a tank, but you could go around and blow some stuff up?
Yeah.
Can you blow stuff up?
Yeah,
You
I think if you have a permit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if
I know there's a lot of stuff you can do. I just have no idea.
yeah, I think if you have a permit and it's in a registered zone or safety, but
I'd probably enjoy driving over stuff more anyways.
Once I had my second kid, I had to give my tank back.
Well, that's a shame.
So I don't know. Anyways, back over the desk.
Yeah. Just quickly, T. Rowe Price, new highs here. Goldman taking $1 billion stake in TROW. Huge pop here for this stock. Doesn't typically move that much, but they're going to team up on retirement investment planning funds. So TROW for anyone who might have that. Decent move here this morning as well. Let's go to C3AI. Not much good to say about this one. I mean, this is what, 2 or 3 different executives that have been swapped in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, and the previous CEO, Brendo, was sadly he was losing his vision, and so they had to replace him. Now it's Stephen Eichan, appointed CEO effective September 1st. So let's talk about how they did. Weak fiscal Q1 earnings, guys, and a CEO transition, as Brendo mentioned. The company's really faced a lot of volatility in recent months due to the leadership uncertainty. But their revenue is not promising here, Brendo. Less than $100 million in revenue on the quarter, $70.3 million versus the $87.2 that they printed last year. So it's declining revenue, significant year-over-year decline with their GAAP net loss also widening, about 86 cents loss per share versus the 50 they lost last year. So more bottom line losses as well. And the new CEO, that one that came in September 1st, he's built and sold, Brendo, 2 tech companies to Salesforce, bringing that scaling experience back to the company. Former CEO, as I mentioned, revealed earlier this year that he was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and he's losing his vision. So wish him all the best.
Yeah, if you zoom out on this thing, you got to go all the way back to 2023 to find really any kind of levels here. 1450 down to 14 possibly. I mean, we're right back to recent lows once again here, guys, for C3AI.
Yeah, and I don't know, I kind of prefer, like, the continuation on Figma seems like the better way to go out of the 2, but only because C3AI, at least for now, it's back above the prior 52-week low, and if you look at it in the aftermarket, it bounced off 14, and then this morning we bounced off 14. So you've got like a double barrel bounce at the 14 level and then holding 14.5 going into the open. So I'm going to, this is not the one that I think I want to fade on C3AI. I'm open to it if it tries some ridiculous gap fill. I think there might be a sell that comes in there, but I'm just kind of feeling Figma a little bit more for the short. And I mean, some other, we talked about some other names as well, like AMD. I haven't mentioned Palantir, so this is my opportunity to mention Palantir because Palantir broke that streak of consecutive, we're going to break the 50 on the daily, but we're going to close above it. Well, yesterday it closed underneath for the first time since April, under the 50-period moving average. It's been underneath, it just had never closed underneath that price, and 156, just essentially looking at 156. It's been a key level, it was in the afternoon, and the prior day is support, and the prior day is support, and the day before that is support, because that's that 50-period on the daily. So I'm looking short under that price today. Much more likely to be trading that than C3AI, which did tank, but at least it's bouncing off 14.
Look, obviously it's a problem. We don't want to, pass light on anything medical because, I'd hate to see someone suffer from anything, and he's having some hearing issues. But not only did the CEO lose his hearing, but he lost shareholder wealth. I mean, this name has been absolutely. This was $170. Now, I know that this was during the hype of everything, and there's lots of stocks that look like this, right? But then we also made our way back up to 150 again. And then all of a sudden, it's just, this is a weekly chart for C3AI. So I don't know, there's no way that I'd be involved in this. You want to talk about AI bubbles and things like that? I mean, here's a perfect example of one. So I'm not excited about it. I didn't look it up. C3AI, definitely not floating my boat right there. The monthly chart, I mean, looks the same right here. It's getting crushed. 52-week highs of $45, now $14. I mean, the demise of this stock has obviously much more to do with the CEO. So yeah, I'm staying clear away from this. I have really no interest in trading it. I think it could move around due to, I'm expecting a really high short float, like in the 20s, I would think. Let's just, oops, I got to go to details. Let's just see what it is here. on that stock, and it's, yes, sure, it is 26%. So nailed that one, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not loving C3 AI today. I'm going to stay away from there. Just better stock ideas. I mean, I would fade Eddie Pops, but you know, with that short float, we've seen this turn around. So in order to sit here and try to predict what AI is going to do, I have no idea. The turnaround is going to have to be sparked by this new CEO, and I don't know. For me, it's a nothing burger there today, unless we pop. If we can pop a little bit and give us a top, then we'll look to fade it. But yeah, Figma, AI, you know, the weak names today, I think continue to get weaker. I think this Nasdaq turns red pretty soon too. So. Yeah, I'm little red on the day overall, I think now. I like Amazon long, I like Tesla long, AMD fade, AEO fade. So those are my trades so far. Let's go back over the desk and talk about, Tesla.
All right, let's go to Tesla here first. Model Y L, 10,000 daily orders in China. That's the extendo version of the Model Y with the extra seating. Sharif and I were just talking about this chart. This is a daily chart of Tesla getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter in this consolidation. Going to resolve one way or the other here pretty soon.
Multi-month, Brendo, feels like that tight range. Yeah, so as you mentioned, 10,000 daily orders so far, 120,000 total for the new Model Y L, they're calling it. It's a 3-row SUV out in China. They like that kind of car there. The Model Y L, as I mentioned, 6-seater version, very popular in China, priced at about $47,150. Conversion featuring an 84-kilowatt battery and a driving range of a little bit less than 400 miles, 391 miles on that bad boy there. They announced a price model cut as well in their Model 3 a few days ago. That's a long-range model. They dropped the price by about 3.7%. They continue to face sales weakness, though, in China, Brendo, despite with registration, down 27% year over year during that August 14th to 24th window. But Deutsche Bank data shows that Tesla sold about 54,000 units in August in China, which is up 29% versus July. But year over year, we're looking at a 17% decline.
Just confirming here, but lots of people are reporting it now. Italian designer Giorgio Armani, 91-year-old Giorgio Armani has died. So some sad news, guys.
It's a good life.
Yeah,
91.
He'll be all right.
Celebrate that. Because at the end of the day, live a good life.
91
But
is huge.
obviously, you know, not great for your family. But at the end of the day, I think you want to celebrate a good life. Going just before we get into Tesla, there were a few small imbalances here. BABA is a 460,000 sell. NEO is 330 to the sell side. American Eagle is 330 to the buy side. Nothing crazy. Opendoor is 270,000. So BABA looks like it's the biggest to the sell side. Is that Chinese stock is not doing a heck of a lot after that crazy run a couple of days ago. It's weird. But the Tesla, the 200 period is kind of the only place that I'm really that interested in for today. It's just shown you the bounce yesterday at 330. So it's a, I don't want to say it's a slim chance. It's not as good of a chance that it gets all the way down there. It's certainly possible, but that's the only level that's interesting to me. It's kind of diddling in the middle as we speak, and just a few other names that we've gone over that I like a little bit better straight away at the open. And someone asked me what the tap was on Gap. It has not moved. There is no news that I have seen on Gap for that halt news pending. We'll bring it to you as soon as we have it.
Look, Tesla's expecting its highest deliveries in a quarter ever. So whatever happened to like Tesla not selling cars? Highest deliveries ever in a quarter expected for Tesla. Here it is on Kalshi. They're looking for 500,000. The highest ever is 485. So yeah, that's where we are on Kalshi. So I don't, there's over 1.5 million bet or whatever on that website. But I like Tesla. It's written here today on the note. And it's one of the top names, 335 long. Yesterday we had a huge dip. So I was going to say wait for that level to develop. Yesterday we had a $14 winner top to bottom on Tesla, which was nice. But this is what happened first. So we lost our way here trying to support 330. Then it came into 328 and then boomed. And we had this long only for it to give it up near the end of the day. So for me, looking for 335 right into here, some of that last minute support that we had yesterday before that move higher and then into the close lower. So I'm looking for 335 there on Tesla as we expect highest deliveries per quarter ever on Tesla. So it's not even like I'm bullish on the stock. I surprised on that number that's what people are expecting, because all we hear about is the demise of this car business. Okay, so Rivian downside there today. I just wanted to see what they were doing. I mean, the whole market kind of pulled back there, definitely in the space yesterday. I did want to check on some bank names here quickly, because JP Morgan, okay, good, still over 300. I wanted to see what was trying to hold this market up, because energy, not great there yesterday. But energy's been okay. We had a nice move here to the downside. Whoops, yesterday in XLE. So we don't even think we mentioned energy once yesterday, but that was a nice downside play there as you watch out for energy and gold. So my trades today, Tesla that 335 long. We'll wait to see if AMD can get going to the short side. I wrote down 161 to 162, 161.50, so we'll wait for that. Amazon, we like to dip buy opportunities as well. We only have 40 seconds now until we go, but this name is almost over. Right here, it's up 2.5%. So you gotta. This really needs a pullback for me to get excited about Amazon. I'm not feeling the long at these levels. And then AEO is already at our $18 short level. So this one risky. I completely understand that's a risky play there. But we're using the daily chart to find some levels on American Eagle Outfitters. So with 31% right now and 10 seconds left, it should be a good one.
Yeah, and this bell brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex on a Thursday. Obviously, a lot of earnings to get to, but let's ring that opening bell. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Already started. Alphabet, day 2 after that, obviously positive
I already got
ruling.
Tesla?
That bad boy is moving. It was trying to move to the upside. Now it's heading back a little bit here. Is going to be Google, Amazon, not really doing anything off of the open. Palantir, I like 156. That's not coming in. Actually, Amazon broke the high and starting to pull back in a little bit there. And then Salesforce right back into the lows. So CRM, the big earnings name. I don't want to say dumping. Dumping's the wrong word, but selling off a little bit here at the open.
So I just took like basically 25% of a unit, so a quarter of a unit here. Tesla just came in immediately. It dropped $3 right off the open. It was $357.50. It came right into $335. It's a level that we had talked about. Right into there, $330 and change will be the kill zone for me on Tesla. So yeah, it's coming in real quick right now. We said that we wouldn't get involved until we saw a bottom, and of course it's 9:30 and 0 seconds, and we're in. So a little more patience required here for Tesla, but it is falling back. Look, I mean, we're out of the money 70 cents. I'm not worried about it, but it is this level right here yesterday that we are worried about. That little down tick is to 332. I don't want to hold that far. If this breaks 333, then I think we can safely get out. But right now we are into Tesla. Okay, the market's trying to go. Let's go find over what Apple's doing. Of course, it's trying to get back to green, but I'm waiting for 340, 240 to break 340
Amazon
eventually.
Just broke the high again.
Yeah, that's.
There was no dip buy in this stock.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying.
Break VWAP.
It's like you have these trades, and it's like sometimes you just got to try to make them, and if they're available, even though you like the long, sometimes you don't get those dip buy opportunities at all. So
well, Google could be coming back in. If you like a dip buy in Google, I like 227 a little bit more than the $1.50 it is away from that right now. So I might stick the order in, see if we can't get 227 high or something like that here on Alphabet. Like some continuation there, but it was Amazon. Let's be real, that's the one that we want. I'm trying to pick it up in front of that volume weighted average price. That's an if we're able to get it at this point. I can cancel my order $2 down there and see if we can't get something going. Amazon, there was a positive note about AWS, and then there was AMD's tanking too.
Yeah, it's breaking 159. We've got a good winner there in Tesla. I mean, Tesla's up 50 cents, so we're okay with Tesla right now. And we took the shot on AEO. Money. Okay. So there goes American Eagle Outfitter. Bang, 25 cents in the money right now. It does get as high as 1830. I still think it can get back to there. So although I don't know, we're short American Eagle Outfitters right now at 1780. So it's going to be hopefully a good trade, but really early. I'm going to get another piece out here at 62. So out in some 50s, out in some 60s. Let's see if it fades back out, but that was that first initial push. We maybe should have just covered it all at VWAP. So here we go. I already have a stop breaking through that high, so I think it's well worth it, man. We were short at 82s. Our best out is 30 cents. We also got 60s as well. So we have some good trades going on there. And by the way, we're doing it again. I mean, this is just, I don't know, like yesterday, Neil, we picked up Tesla. Here it is right now. It's a I don't know if you're in any positions, not yet. It's a $2 winner right there for Tesla to start the day. So here we go, man. So far, 2 for 2, AEO and Tesla. But there it goes. So this was another play that we had made on our note here. The number one trade today, Tesla long at 335. Now you can see where this is, 337 and change. There's the fill at 335. You know, that's what it is. So hopefully some of you guys have that. And I'm just going to sit down and chill out right now and see how far this thing can go up.
Yeah, great look over there. And just Amazon is completely gone. I know we're going to have an opportunity to go over the news again, but Amazon is now up 3.5% and $234 and absolutely screaming. The market's trying to break out the highs, but this one is, it's just gone. So definitely happy with the long term here, but we wanted to grab this one on any kind of
go AEO.
Look, we had some kind of a chance, but there's pretty much nothing happening at this point. Going back over to Palantir, Palantir did run that 156 and now dropping back in heavily. So the opening range, at least for the first couple of candles, is going to close back under that 50-period moving average. That's my over-under on the daily. If under, short. If over, do not. I only wanted to be short this today, so not going to stand in front of a falling night. But the market at the highs, and this just rejected 156 pretty heavily. So I'm going to get my orders in, see if we can't short it back into that 156. Because the market's strong, let it come to me. The market's trying to break out here. Google going, Amazon going, Palantir trying to go, and obviously AMD, which was the other name, not doing anything.
Oh, AMD.
So AMD, yeah, I got my order in there, but we're just going to have to cancel it. It's shorted pretty much at 160. I'm not going to short this price here. With the market breaking out, allow it to come to you at this particular moment. So just going to be a little bit patient with this one. Patience can pay off here. I don't want to be fighting anything. If it's not at my entry prices, I don't have to trade it.
Yeah, look, for me, same way here, because we're just trying to be patient today. It's $2.50 or so we just took on Tesla. American Eagle Outfitters, it was a good short, and we got more coverage there. This time we got 45s. Let's see what it wants to do. It's getting the feels to me like, because we keep on bouncing off of VWAP right there, that we do, that's twice now. It's twice in 3 minutes that we bounced off of those levels. So looks like the buyers are still coming in for AEO. So a good couple outs down there, position pending whether or not we can get a W on this one or not. Obviously we've cashed some out, but we've only got out of like 15%. So need to get out of some more to make that one sing just a little bit. Looking at this name here for Tesla, look, yesterday it went $14. So I think it's going to go today. I mean, there's a big, huge move there in the Nasdaq, and it doesn't look like Tesla wants to. It had a big move up, but it looks like we may have just exhausted a little bit up there, and here it comes right back in again. So 337.50. Let's note that and think about that as a recent high. See if we can get that again. So yeah, we're just going to wait for that. And then the other trade, of course, that we had mentioned down here on the sticky note was AMD. We like that short. We like Amazon long. So we had Tesla long, AEO short, Amazon long, AMD short. So if we can go over and just check out Amazon, I know Neil is just looking at that as well, but that's gone as well. So yeah, happy, joy, a name that we were getting longer in. But here it comes back in again. I'm going to put another bid in the 50s for AEO, and then after that, just leave it alone right now, as this relatively small cap name here, just over 2 billion, looks to, you know, again, rip faces off.
It is a small, well, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Looking to rip faces off right now on AEO. I don't know. So far, we're protecting our upside by going short. So, yeah, 11, 110, 600 right now. If there's any news or anything popping through, we'll get a DARA on the 1s and 2s. And so get ready for anything there. We could take a quick look. Okay, we will go to DARA in a second. Just a quick look on Figma, just to see what that's doing. Still down that 19, 20% now. And see you later. I mean, that one name obviously was a short. And this is what I said about C3AI. Like, always a chance, right?
It's a squeeze
that gets squozed.
Too bad CRM can't squeeze.
Yeah, is that still going down?
CRM down 7%. It just tagged a new threshold. Before we go back over to Adara, Palantir, it came back in, remember 156, we liked it, allowed it to come back into 56. It's at the volume weighted average price now. I've taken some out into VWAP, but I want to see this ideally, and again, I always hope the stocks go up, but with the pattern on the daily chart, I'm looking for it to at least retest down into 154 where there was all this chop zone. So that's going to be the target here on this name. Amazon, with the market coming in, this might be the only opportunity to get Amazon at VWAP at 233. Let's look for a bounce at that price as we go to Adara.
Amazon.
Just beware here of AMZ. And in terms of the story on this, there are actually a couple. You can check some of them out on X at TTV Research. Sorry, not X, on our watch list in the morning. We do have some of those catalysts. They actually acquired an Indian-based fintech firm, or specifically in the lending space. But I also want to let you guys know, we had Business Insider reporting. Apparently, they now have quick suite software to help increase its AI agent game, I guess. So keep an eye here in AMZ, and there were a couple different catalysts on this one, including this AI agent related report from Business Insider. Nothing new, though, to explain the pop right at the open. Back to you.
I mean, you know, that's what we're looking for, catalysts. And the thing is that, oh, this is Neil's Twitter right there. I was looking to see what your picks were earlier. But here it is right here. AMD right there, 161.50 to 162 short. Downgrade, I wanted to fade pops, but unfortunately, there really wasn't any pop. So I always battle with these ideas, like, you know, we're thinking long or short, but sometimes the move goes the other way against you early, and then you're like, what have I done? And then you're averaging in. And I just find like those are my biggest losers when I'm starting to average into positions that I'm just off on the price. Might be right on the direction, but wrong on the price. But today, it was right on direction, and just other than, you know, being more confident, hitting that pre-market low right here, I don't see a trade right now in AMD. I mean, this is 156.30. So that kind of a break right there maybe, but yeah, I don't know if we have an opportunity maybe to short the sector. Remember we do, okay, so NVIDIA's up because it's Broadcom story, right? That's what that, you know, this is what we're worried about. Exactly. 306 right now, up 1.36%. So, I mean, whether or not Broadcom leads the way here, you're up 1% today on this name and down 2% on advanced micro devices. So definitely something to worry about. But there's the market pulling back into VWAP, into the 50-period moving average. We did get, no, we didn't get anything. We got a little more reloaded there. We took another short. So that's what it was. My net was moving around here. I was like, why is that? But AEO, we did get filled there at O's. We got 99 actually. So we'll take another out there at 87. We go over to Neil because I shake my head because I see the stock and it's like we talked about that this was a death note for them.
I was literally laughing at that news, not the Lucid Uber news, not moving the stock to the upside. I just didn't think it was going to tank 10% off of the open. You've got to be kidding me. It's only 7.5% now, but Lucid, this is now 3 days in a row. Just, this is what happens on reverse splits more often than not is the best way to think about it. I'm looking over at AMD as a disappointing missed opportunity, and I'm going to double check where SMCI is because that was very weak all day yesterday, and this could be a continuation on SMCI. A bit of a flat bottom break at 40 here. Yeah, I want to join this short if I can't get any kind of reasonable price on AMD. Then joining this underneath the pre-market low in VWAP is going to make some sense to me. Palantir is now cleared out 155, so it's getting right down into those lows. I'm expecting a bounce off these lows, I think, for obvious reasons. Like, how many times did it bounce this area in the last couple of days? Bounce, 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 bounce. Yesterday, double bottom here in around 153.5 and 154. Oh, I just heard Gap.
I was going to say, did we get the Gap news, Adara? Because Gap is...
It's open.
Yeah, so
it's open, so the news has to be out.
I'm not seeing any news on it, weirdly enough, but it is open. I'm still looking into this. That's what I was going to let you guys know. Gap is open, but I literally am not seeing any news here on Benzinga. I'm not even seeing on Benzinga that it reopened, but the stock has reopened. I'm going to look into this. Again, I'm not seeing a news release here. And in 3 minutes, we do have S&P Services and Composite PMI.
All right, so good enough. Adara's going to get that. Her and Sharif are looking it up. So thanks, guys, for that here today. So, yeah, we're going to find out about gapping. Just 2%, though. It's definitely not a huge move by any stretch of anybody's imagination. So there goes Gap up 2%. We can see what's going on. I mean, look, man, we've I don't know if anybody's following the ideas or not, but there goes AEO right now. Boom, right there. Huge move to the downside here for American Eagle Outfitters. Yeah, it's pretty huge, man. I mean, it was $18 down to 17, down to 17.20. There it is, man. Yeah, we got it right now, and we got it good right here. So far, so good on this play with American Eagle Outfitters. I was catching a little bit of flack in the chat as people were talking about it being a little bit of a dangerous short. Hey, I admitted that this was a dangerous short. So, but danger is my middle name, potentially. It's not, but, and I'm not very dangerous as a trader. I'm pretty risk adverse. But here we go. Let's go. Was that another call for Adara or no? Yes, okay. So, yeah. Over to Adara.
Here's the Gap news. They just announced they're going to be strategically expanding into the beauty and accessory space, in addition to apparel, which they already do. Strategic expansion announcement here for Gap. In less than 2 minutes, we will get the S&P services and manufacturing, or sorry, services and composite PMI. Back to you.
Dan, thank you very much, Adara. So it's not, that doesn't seem like the biggest news over there for Gap, but to each their own. Yep. I thought we were going to get something a little more exciting than that when you halted in the pre-market. But
you thought it was going to gap higher, basically.
No, I thought there was going to be, I thought there would be something bigger. That's a good pun.
It's all right.
I don't have the joke drums with me. But 154 ended up bouncing in Palantir here. So 56 to 54.5 for me. There's a pretty decent bottoming tail candle. Palantir has an affinity for bouncing pretty heavily when it does have a drop off of the open. So I want to respect that. Look for 156 again if we're able to catch it. But so far, that's the only trade because Amazon doesn't want VWAP. It's nowhere close to it. It's kind of consolidating up here on Amazon. Multiple positive stories here for them and looking very solid. Google, however, is testing the low. So Google might actually get down into 227 here. So, this is an area to look for a bounce on Google, but we're going to go to Adara first and get some economic data, but double bottom here on Alphabet.
S&P services and composite PMI both coming in lower than expected. Services PMI 54.5 versus 55.4 expected. S&P composite PMI 54.6 versus 55.3 expected. So again, both these S&P services and composite PMI below estimates. We will get at 10 a.m. ISM services PMI and Stephen Moran's Senate nomination hearing with regards to his Fed, candidacy. So I'll certainly be watching that for you guys starting at 10 and cover all of it. Back to you.
All right, there's some decision here that's just happened that's affecting Bitcoins and everything. BMNR, their big move to the downside is what I'm hearing right now.
The Nasdaq was supposed to be cracking
down 5%. MSTR as well. So there's something. The Nasdaq. What did you hear? What it was?
I thought something about the Nasdaq cracking down on something about crypto investment.
Okay, so she'll look into that, but there's MSTR slightly down. It doesn't look like it's affecting the actual coins themselves, as it looks like, as Neil was just mentioning, SBET.
Yeah, like SBET's the one down the most.
Yeah, well, BMR, they're both the same. They're both down 5.
BMNR, is it BN?
BMNR.
MNR.
Yeah, BMNR, as in Neil Roberts. BM Neil Roberts.
That makes it easier to remember.
But there you go. So I got you. But you know what's going on here is Tesla. We had said that we'd have to give this a little bit of room, and we did do that, of course. So here goes Tesla right there, nicely gathered back up. There's the 335 long. Someone said if we took the 335 long, you would have lost. Okay, then you didn't take 250. I can't. This is what Neil and I can't control where people get in or out. We're just talking about some ideas. My out here is a break of 333. We were really close to getting stopped out there. So that part is true. But here we go. Now it's coming back up to the upside. Hey, man, it's 80 cents in the money right now for Tesla and 35 cents in the money. Well, no, AEL just came back, actually. So we just got to fill there for 53 cents. Let's see if it pulls back just a little bit here on AEO. We're going 2 for 2 so far over here. Neil's got the SMCI position on, so that should be an exciting one as well. But Tom Lee right now, BMNR. So there it goes. Nice downside play there as Adara's got the story. It is the Nasdaq scrutiny of companies. So let's go over and figure out if Adara's got a take on this or what it is.
So this actually is not out of the blue entirely. I did look into it, and apparently this was as of last week. The CFTC and NASDAQ announced they were going to be working together to crack down on what they deem crypto market manipulation. I guess in that space, it's also worth noting, too, this came out earlier as well. The NASDAQ specifically saying they're going to be tightening their rules for Chinese stocks and thinly traded stocks. I'm not seeing anything specifically that this new report has anything to do with crypto. Apparently, the information reported something about the crypto aspect of this. I'm not seeing anything on that. I'm still going to be looking into it here. But apparently, this newest report was more focused on Chinese quote-unquote pump and dumps. Back to you.
Chinese pump and dump.
Yeah, thank you so much there, Adara. And that, I don't think that bodes very well for those stocks. But you know what? The market does just fine. And if you're looking for exposure, Beta Pro by Globex has launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st at the end of this year. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical and sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn more. Scan the QR code in front of you. I think this SBET, these guys are in trouble.
Choppy.
You don't want... Yeah, they were already frothy to begin with. You got to be kidding me. Frothy to begin with, and now on top of it, you got this headline hitting them. But let it calm down for a bit. As Adara said, this isn't necessarily new. It's trying to bounce a little bit here. What the heck? Palantir was just at 150.
Yeah, the market just got hit.
When I started reading that Beta Pro thing, Palantir was coming right back up to the entry price. It's right back at the low of the day. This is wild. Let's go over to Adara.
Apparently, some of the concerns here, I'm going to look into Palantir, but with regards to crypto, I'm reading more about this information report. Specifically, I guess apparently they're going to basically introduce new requirements for how these firms can operate. These would include shareholder votes. And the issue here in terms of the crypto industry, how they feel, is that this could actually delay deals and introduce some more uncertainty into this stock market boom when it comes to the crypto space specifically. So they're just employing a couple safeguards, it looks like, into this process to avoid some of these massive booms. Apparently, so far, already this year alone, 124 U.S. listed companies have announced plans to get into the crypto treasury space. So it is something that's happening a lot. And I guess the Nasdaq is reportedly looking to respond to that. Back to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. We talked about like crypto and Bitcoin in general needs catalysts. Obviously, that's not going to be one that you're looking to get right now, but we do have a new trade alert, and it's on Amazon. So, yeah, buddy. Again, we're only trading the names that are on here, right? It's Tesla, AMD, Amazon, AEO. AEO is a good one. It's coming back up, though. Tesla, we just had a little look there. And there's Amazon right now, man. I mean, this is what we got to do. We got to trade when we see trades available. So this pulled back into VWAP. So there it is right there. Nice move up. Yes, sir. 70 cents, Neil, in 1 minute right there on Amazon. And as Neil...
VWAP.
Right, exactly. So we're both
in this. Shout out to Brian.
Great. Shout out, yeah, to Brian Shannon there for sure.
I got to say his
as we do that, we got his book over there. He's been away the last couple of weeks. So we'll wait for him to come back on Tuesday. But yeah, there it is. So doubled it up. Boom, boom, boom. I was telling Neil, I kept putting the wrong price. So I took the trade, then got stopped out, took the trade, and then we put the right price. So my stop, of course, was breaking this 233 area. So right into here, well worth it now. Nice upside play. Now 70 cents in the money for that name. We did not, unfortunately. Oh, actually, no. Yes, we did. We did get that price. Okay. So right before that dump down, I said I didn't think we got it, but we did. So that's 335.90. We got that price right there. Then it fell back in, and now Tesla on the precipice. I heard Neil, I think, say that word earlier, of losing its bid. And we said that we would wait to see if Tesla would give us something. Yesterday Tesla did, and it was a big winner. First big losers, then big winner. Relatively flat on the name on the day, but this gave us that level, and it was around now, 950, 940, where that move started to happen. So we'll see if Tesla can rinse out again here and give us something similar down into these levels. But I don't want to be part of that break. So if we break below, then let's, I'm not waiting for anything to happen there. You could see what happened yesterday, once we broke, we kept on going. So there could be a dramatic candle incoming for Tesla, but we'll hold it right now. It's in the money. Actually, sorry, this is out of the money, 60 cents down here at 334 right now. So in the money on our last take, out of the money in general.
Apple,
yeah, go ahead. I was just going to go to Figma, but.
Apple high of the day breaking right now.
Ooh, who said Apple long? Nobody.
Meta did break the high of the day. Now it's starting to pull back. So the market is, I want to say topsy-turvy. We've just essentially, you've rinsed the top, not broken the low, and now we've rinsed this wrong word. You failed the top, the overnight highs, and now we're kind of failing VWAP to push through.
Ooh, another one.
I think that's because we have this discrepancy between what's going on in some of these mags. Meta's giving it up, and Apple's continuing, and Google's giving it up, and it's just there's a strength in Amazon, so it's 50-50, but it seems like resolving a little bit lower here.
Thank you, Randy.
There was a wall at the $0.50 on Amazon.
Randy with the reload.
234.5.
Oh, really?
On Amazon. There was just a wall there. I tried to sneak in front. If we get up there again, I think it's probably a sell because this market is really turning around. This might be the opportunity to get into AMD.
I only got 234.07.
Yeah, AMD just failed VWAP as well. If you can't short it on the pop,
I'm going long Apple.
Then the continuation play to me is usually taking the shot. If we close this candle under VWAP, I'll join at the volume weighted average price, and then my stop would just be this candle high, which is 159.42. So yeah, if we can hold under that, I'm going to look for the entry. But you got to hold under VWAP first.
We talked about Apple being the smartest player in the room. It's up 0.35. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're going to wait to see here a break of 240. I'm going to take this break. I mean, I do understand that it seems a little bit top heavy at this point, considering what the market's doing, and Apple just made that move up. But if we break that level there, I'm going to go. So nice pullback in. Just because I like the breakout does not mean I'm going to be dip buying this name, but if Apple does come in a little bit more, I could see something happening for this name. What is this price? That's 238.50. The problem is I'm long Amazon and Tesla, so I don't want to layer into Apple right here in case the market does go whoopsies. Apple will follow it. So I'd rather punch strength right now than buy dips. So good out there. We got another. Oh, no, we didn't. I was waiting at teens there. How high did we go? Right there, 06s. So I'm in Amazon right now at, I'm 234.20s. So my best out was 07s, I believe, whatever that was. Yeah, so quickly in, and I don't want to say quickly out because we're not out yet, but this name right here in risk of falling out, Amazon. But we'll watch it. Again, another really strong name in the space is Amazon. All right, so C3AI was a name that started to go early. We talked about this with earnings.
Opendoor is breaking.
They missed. Opendoor would be a good one. Look at AI. AI was down 14% or something. Straight upside right there as new CEO. I mean, maybe that's part of it, right? We don't know the insides of that story, but a vision problem that they knew about causing him to step down.
I have a lot of details on that story. I'll talk about it probably during the midday if people care, because I'm going to get really detailed.
Okay, great. So we'll have to wait for the midday for that one. Join Adara on the midday. But as Neil just mentioned, good call there. I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but there goes Opendoor.
I didn't have to see it in the chat.
Boy.
Because all I had to do was pull up the stock visualizer, because everybody in the chat, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be in the chat, everybody. Everyone's putting in $, whatever symbol. Tesla, Opendoor, AEO, Palantir, Amazon, all the ones we're covering actually. Gap. Neon was that stock that's down a bajillion% today. Robinhood, Apple, AMD. The only one that we haven't looked at is Robinhood on that list. But Opendoor is at yesterday's high. There's a squeeze play potential, but I don't like breakouts in this stock. It's obviously above $5. That was the rule to go long yesterday. I think that kind of holds today. Look for that yesterday's high to give you a pullback opportunity here, anywhere near VWAP. And I want to be long into this bad boy. But let's go back over to Adara. I believe we just got another call.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here. I saw this a couple of minutes ago. I did put it on our headlines. You could have seen it on where the position board is. But we do have Wall Street Journal reporting that apparently Lisa Cook is now facing an official Department of Justice subpoena as part of this probe. So keep an eye here, I guess, on the market with regards to the Fed. It's also worth noting here on the Fed side of things, I mentioned this a bit earlier, but Stephen Moran, who Trump nominated to replace outgoing Fed Governor Adriana Kugler, he's going to be doing his Senate testimony with regards to that nomination at 10 a.m., I'll be listening to that. Apparently also at 10 a.m., we will have RFK Jr. testifying before the Senate with regards to the CDC. So that could be on watch as well. I'll be watching the Stephen Moran testimony, but keep an eye maybe on some of these pharma names as well. Last but not least, we do have at 10 a.m. just again, guys, ISM Services PMI. Stay tuned. I will be delivering those numbers for you promptly. Back to you.
Thanks. Yeah, so those are coming out in just 3 minutes. So I'm trying to get out. I'm not trying to get out of anything, but we will take another fill right there on 234. So 234, we just took an out there on Amazon. I'm still waiting for 234.20. I don't want to get punched in. I hear a dare in my ear there, Andre, and I can't. Okay, so all right, I'll take it out. But 240 breaking maybe right there on the bid. So we'll see about that breaking for Apple, but we do have those numbers in just a couple minutes. It's Tesla that's doing absolutely nothing right now. So this is gonna have to try to break, man. 235.50. I'm sitting there to get an out if it can hit the VWAP, but that would be something that we wait for. And it looks like AEO is holding 18. I'm not adding to this. We've gotten a bunch out here. We've taken that shot. Generally speaking, if a name holds out like this, I feel like it wants to run, but you know, like if the shorts want to win, they probably already have right there. So now we wait to see if that 25% short vote or so goes for American Eagle Outfitter. All right, I'm going to put this back in, and hopefully it's fixed.
I took mine out again.
Okay, hopefully it's fixed. All right, so yeah, can you, Andre, or who's over there? Could you fix this? I hear someone in our ear, and we just can't.
There's a live mic.
It's a problem.
Just very quickly, that's the wall on Amazon. Wall is maybe not the right word, but the lower high on Amazon at 234.5 keeps on just getting rejected. So I dipped out, and I'm going to try to get back into this at VWAP. As long as it can hold VWAP, I want to be long the stock. AMD, oh, here we come back in. AMD's holding above the volume weighted average price, so I'm not getting into that. If it doesn't give me the entry off the highs, then I want it underneath the volume weighted average price on a little bit of weakness.
Yeah, I like the Google play. Try to get some strength.
Okay, so Google here is breaking trend. So that's the other thing I wanted to get to. Google just broke its little downtrend from the open, but if it breaks the low, which is the prior bar low is the actual low of the day, then I got to jump out of this. The market's coming back in. And the one stock I wanted short, we haven't gotten into that. Well, Figma we haven't gone in either, but I suspected Figma might be a little trickier to be able to get into. But Google's trying to break this trend line, and Amazon, I want it to volume weighted average price as it's starting to pull back.
The numbers
in. Market's
out.
coming back in. Let's go to Adara. Oh, shoot, I wasn't plugged in.
These numbers here, ISM Services PMI actually higher than expected. 52 versus 51 was the forecast there. So again, higher than expected ISM Services PMI. We also get ISM Services employment and prices paid. Both of those were marginally lower than expected. And the ISM Services new orders actually well above estimates, 56 versus 51.1. But again, the key number here, ISM Services PMI higher than expected, 52 versus the forecast of 51. Now, in case you missed it at 9:45 a.m., we did get lower than expected S&P Services and Composite PMI. So interesting stuff here, lower than expected S&P PMI, higher than expected ISM. We do have some Fed news on watch. Beginning right now is Stephen Moran's nomination hearing for the Fed governor position to replace Adriana Kugler. We also have Lisa Cook reportedly receiving a subpoena as the DOJ apparently officially begins its investigation into her alleged mortgage fraud. Now, we also have a whole bunch of other stocks to watch, a lot of which are in the crypto space. Here's the Nasdaq, just kind of oscillating lower here on as we digest these numbers. But here is MSTR, of course, a company that does have a bit of a Bitcoin treasury strategy. The information reporting that the Nasdaq is going to be stepping up its scrutiny of these companies that are looking to adopt these strategies and accrue a lot of crypto. Apparently, some of these metrics, or I guess some of these things that they might be suggesting to address this could include requiring shareholder approval. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. This is just a report, but interesting stuff here with regards to the crypto space. Back to you.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting story there with BMNR, and you know, all of that. We had sat here a couple times and talked about the advantages of holding the coin or whatever the asset is instead of one of these ETFs or these treasury plays. It did seem a little fishy to moi. Okay, so Amazon, I see you're out of that Google trade, so we'll talk about that in a minute, but Amazon just fell in, so we got another decent price down there for Amazon. So let's take something out here in the high 30s. We just went to 38, so there you go, we'll take that fill. And now we'll wait to see if we can get it even higher. Right now, Amazon, we're long now at 23, so right here now for AMZN. And, you know, just before that number came out, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of experience, and I'm glad everybody's watching. You know, getting out right there at 34s, you know, you don't expose the risk then of that number, which came pretty much as expected. 52 versus 51 on ISM manufacturing, but it's sending the market lower here. It's not going to affect the Fed rate or anything like that. I wouldn't think that decision, but you can see the market. I'd wish it was the other way. I mean, I'm only short AEO, which isn't going to follow the market anyways. And right there, nice tank on the Nasdaq. And I said I wouldn't be surprised if it went red there today. The only short that we called early, well, we called a couple of them, but AMD was the big short that printed early, and now it's holding out. So look at the Nasdaq doing this move, and look what AMD's doing. It's stone cold chill. So this short may not be as good as your boy once thought it was, but we'll wait on it and give it another second to see what it wants to do. But right now, Amazon long, Tesla long, AEO short.
And just quickly, each year, this started NFL season, everybody.
Yeah.
Each year, you got 3.8 million concussions reported in the United States of America, and there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Orgenix, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach a whopping $8.9 billion by 2027, Orgenix is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Scan the QR code in front of you for more information. Well, you're losing the bid everywhere. Market just lost the low. Amazon lost that dip at 233. Whoever was selling up there at the 34 range was the winner, but you know, we'll give some back on Amazon after going long the second time through. Google, the out was going to be the low of the day. It broke the trend. It broke the prior bar low. There's my out there. So we're no longer in anything because my short ideas that I liked, well,
there comes Amazon
AMD's
back.
actually, AMD's actually trying to break trend down for the first time. So I was waiting for AMD to hold underneath the volume-weighted average price. This is now looking like it's going to be a little more constructive for the short. Give it to this prior high, 159.76. Hopefully we can get some kind of a little bit of a bounce play, so I'm not chasing a dollar move to the downside. There was this and like a maybe on a Figma.
The market is,
Palantir is only now right back. It's still in the same range as it was before. Like 156 top, wasn't revisited, still bouncing off 154, so not much of a change, just some lower highs. If this continues to play out with the lower highs, then we got to move target and think that we're not going to get this 156 again. It seemed that way when the market was bouncing, like we were going to catch that 156, but no longer that the case over there on Amazon. And I know you've been looking at American Eagle. That just had another false break of the high of the day. So it's just like twice in a row it's had a false break of the high of the day. And speaking of high of the day breaks, Opendoor broke the you-know-what out of the high of the day, came all the way to 570, and look at this dip into VWAP. So it's not necessarily the way I was looking for the VWAP to dip to happen, but it is happening one way or another here. So Opendoor just dropped like 40 pennies in a couple of minutes here, heavily into the volume-weighted average price. But that's where we wanted to pick it up. So I'm going to be buying that dip back into 530, which was the breakout price for open. No particular story here. It's just squeeze play continuation.
Yeah, we'll take advantage of that AEO dip. I don't know what that was about, but we had mentioned 1830. That didn't come in yet, but close. So there goes Tesla breaking 333. So see ya. I mean, wrong on that one, I guess. We'll go red on it. But again, not like yesterday. We were actually pretty calm and pretty good with this trade here today. Whether or not this market, wherever it wants to go right now, so we'll be flat on Amazon, but I'm actually going to buy some back right here. This is right at key levels for Amazon, falling back in right into here. So it's Probably jumped out of that a little bit too early, but I do want to use some of these bottom moves as true, right? So 332.50 will get a little bit more in right now at that level if it can come in, and then we'll just give it a little bit more room. I mean, it's got to absorb this Nasdaq turning red. So yeah, the short might have been there at VWAP on Nasdaq. So anyways, let's wait to see. We're back in right now to Amazon. We should have bought let's buy something in the 80s, and then we'll wait to see what winds up happening there. Palantir Magic as well. I know you were in SMCI earlier. That's probably...
Oh, SMCI has been...
That was a long time, yeah. I just wanted to see what that was doing because it's up right now in green on the day, so it's flashing in front of my face right now.
AMD has been different because of that. I guess it was just the downgrade.
Well, that's what I was saying. AMD, no, but AMD is actually holding now. So that was the funny thing about advanced micro devices, that's for sure. Let's check out, yeah, see, it's going up, which is kind of wild. All right, Oscar, not Oscar Wiley, but we're going to go with Oscar Health right now, and that's a nice move. Trying to hold. We get a nice move upside today. I believe it was upgraded. I think it was on Joe's sheet, or maybe not, but up 3% there, as they included a bigger total addressable market there yesterday, and they had a nice move there. But today, relatively flat. I knew it was a name that a lot of you were potentially looking at, but there goes Bitcoin. It's at 110 flat right now. So as this market looks to go downside a little bit, so does crypto. I mean, IBIT, I think it's been straight line down. Yeah, there it is. I was just gonna say over the last 10 minutes or so. And there it goes. Pretty good move, down 2% today for IBIT. Like I said, I kind of have these, and I don't want a dream to turn into a nightmare, but I do kind of have these thoughts of, potentially one day crypto is down at that 101 area, 102 area, and I can buy some more. So I'm going to wait to see if and when that comes through for me, but for right now it's not. So we'll wait on IBIT to get back down a little bit. Another reload there on Amazon. Let's try to play a strong name to the long side in case this market does bounce back. I like Amazon right here. There it is, 15 cents in, but we need it to climb. That's the 21 period moving average. I'm going to use something like that as an area to get out. 233.40. If we can get something up there and make 60 cents on it, I think that would be a good start. So we'll go to 29 first, and then we'll see if we can climb a little bit higher on Amazon. So that's kind of what I've been doing over here right now. How much did my wife spend at Costco? Here, you guys want to do an over-under on that?
$34.50.
How much?
Obviously not.
How much do you think? I have no idea. I mean, it's hard to say.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
How often does she go?
Yeah. I would say she probably. Yeah, I'd say she probably hasn't been in probably a couple weeks, probably 2 or 3 weeks. Probably.
Just 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's a good question. She's live on chat here, so I'm going to ask her, and then we'll get back to you, and I'll ask you.
$369.42.
Okay, all right, $369.42. Okay, good guess. We'll ask her. When last time at Costco besides yesterday? Okay, and how much? Okay, all right.
I was gonna guess well north of 500, but then. You said she was there a couple weeks ago. So
I'm gonna say you're probably pretty close. 300 or 400 is probably right. Buying kids. I mean, I saw we have these. She buys these little Italian. They're pre-made like antipastas, and they're expensive. And then my daughter likes these acai bowls that are in the freezer that are really great there. So I know that those are expensive. But I don't think we bought anything major. So that's the whole thing. I think it was more snack and food related. So we're gonna get that. I'm gonna tell her there's a question on chat, so she doesn't think that I'm.
Yes, that's oddly specific.
Counting my dollars.
Well, obviously, it's a specific guess. If I ever guess a price, you should already know by now on this show.
The family is just the 4 of us.
Let's be real.
All right, so people are guessing 400.
Oh, and you don't buy anything for, well, I guess, yeah.
Okay, I have the number, but besides yesterday, I'm going to ask you when the last time it was. So, okay, we'll get that in a second. 10:10. I feel like we were going somewhere, but maybe we weren't. Okay, all right.
No,
so
I don't think we were.
We're not. We can take a quick look at Costco stock. I mean, yesterday she messaged me and said that it was pretty dead in there. So I was doing like some channel checks myself on Costco yesterday. But again, she went Wednesday, the day after school started here in Ontario, and she was there just after open. She's really smart about it. She'll go not right at 10 o'clock when it opens, because that's a mad rush. She'll go like around 10:15, 10:20, 10:30, so you're not being bombarded there. And she said it was a good experience overall. Costco down near these dip zones is a good buy. But the thing about Costco is you can also, whenever you're looking over here, there's only a couple names in retail. Walmart, I don't own AEO or anything like that, but Walmart today breaks above 100. So it had a nice move down, and it's like all of their past earnings plays have had moves down, and then it's been recovery. Like this was earnings here, I believe, back in February, where they had that huge move down, recovered all the way back to almost past highs. So Walmart's been dead money all year, pretty much. I mean, if you got in anywhere near February, you're just starting to get back. That was a great dip buy. Buy the best companies when they fall down. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. So she said, yeah, the last time she went was last month, and the number was, you're pretty close.
Oh, last month.
She says but I mean last month. Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on, it's the
rough.
4th.
So
that's not an answer.
She's probably so it was probably her monthly visit. Let's put it that way. And it was 4 bills, so it wasn't too big.
Well, then I got lucky
over there.
Because if it's once a month, I would have guessed closer to $600.
Okay, the thing is, we spent $250 the night before at Loblaws buying groceries.
Again,
as well,
important information there.
All right, so Amazon right now is starting to climb. So finally, Yahoo, hallelujah. And we got a few deliveries on Amazon. Oh, I got my ON shoes, my On shoes yesterday. They fit quite nicely. They said to size down, so I got 12.5, and they fit pretty good. But I didn't want to wear them today because it's pouring rain. I feel like they're white with a little. I'll show them to you when I get them. So I didn't want to wear them today because I'm walking to the gym. So we'll figure it out. SoFi. Whoever had 420 probably close to winning there.
SoFi with the Josh Allen news. That alone should have made it a buy, but apparently it didn't. Just very quickly, Open did bounce off VWAP, but we're putting in a lower high. So it gave you the bounce off the volume weighted average price. Opendoor, slight rejection at the top. But remember, just a few days ago, 585 is this local high here. So you do have some overhead resistance that you're trying to play into. As long as it holds in and around this volume weighted average price in the 540 yesterday's highs, good to go. Want to have something in the long and try and reload it. But 585 is going to be a bit of a problem. Anyways, let's just be real. This stock is, when you're a squeeze stock, you have to break through resistance levels. You go from one to the next, and the short sellers tend to like to step in at those types of price ranges. Taking a second shot at Alphabet here, but this might just end up being short today. It broke trend again, closed above. I'm just underneath the prior bar, but not by much, by a couple of pennies. So it kind of hit the prior bar low without breaking it. Last time we took it, prior bar was the out. Same thing here. It's a tighter stop, just based on the 3-minute pattern, but this one's heading to the downside, and you don't want to give all the profit back from Palantir, as this market has yet to close with a green candle since that opening one on the 15-minute. And I do see a lot of people mentioning a few names in the chat that we have not talked about. I just want to remind everybody, because I've seen some new names in here, but it's all the same ones on the visualizer. It's still Open and Tesla and AEO and Hood. So make sure you're actually hitting the $ in there on all these different names. Someone just put in AMD and you didn't type $. So just a reminder, if you do that, it's just so much easier for us to cover some of these other names for you. But Google 0 for 2 on that one. Thankfully, Palantir was a good short because it's able to pay for it. But realistically, this market doesn't seem to want to catch a bid. And when you think about it, the only earnings name that we had, it's like weird, like the market's looking pretty weak. The only earnings name, well, not the only name, the biggest earnings name out there, CRM, seems to have found a bit of a bottom. It's not going to move the market, Salesforce, but pretty encouraging at least that it's not breaking lower here with the market.
Okay, here we go, guys. 14 years. Okay, cancel this. Okay, I want to say, Joe, you're off tomorrow. Where are you going? Away. Where's away at? A wedding. Whereabouts?
A lot of weddings.
Oh, Uxbridge. Okay, so you're pretty close there. You can go say what's up to Randy. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, come by for a beer. So Joe and I tomorrow, not in. I'll be in Markham. So yeah, I can see you tomorrow too. I'm going to be in Markham, Stouffville. So yeah, tomorrow we're in Stouffville tomorrow. We're coming to your hood tomorrow, Randy. Markham, Stouffville.
Randy's got the man cave. You could go.
I'll tell you, Randy. Maybe I will. Are you off tomorrow, Randy? No, probably not, or probably yes. You off tomorrow? No. Oh, you're right here right now. Okay. Hey, what's up, Randy? How you doing? Okay. Have you ever heard of this place? Maybe I shouldn't just tell everybody where we're going tomorrow. Angus Glen Community Center. Yes, so that's where we are tomorrow. Then we're at then later on we are at where's this one at? The Stouffville Clippers Sports Complex. I don't know if you know where that is. 120 Weldon Road. I anyways, that's what we're doing there.
My backyard.
That's your backyard. Well, I will see you there at some point. Maybe I'll give you a call on Saturday.
Where's the wedding, girl? At Brooks Farms.
Brooks Farms. He does not have his mic on, so Brooks Farms. All right, here we go, man. 14 years, 0 hacks, 0 excuses. This is btcc.com, and I am actually in this name.
Nice.
Trade Bitcoin up to 500x, even Tesla, gold, and Forex. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you trade like them. Regulated in the US, Canada, and Europe. Trusted by 6.8 million traders. Trader TV Live exclusive right now for you. Scan that QR code or click the link in the description for that's a pretty good bonus right here, for a 15% deposit bonus. It's btcc.com where the pros trade, and now, so can you, thanks to Trader TV Live, BTC, I mean, there it is right there.
Oh,
changing the game, BTCC.
The purpose ETF,
there, yeah. So I don't know if, is it the same thing? BT.
Is it?
So this is, I don't know.
I don't know if it is.
So this is the purpose ETF that I'm invested in. This is the very first Bitcoin ETF that I ever bought. This is BTCC, has been around forever. It was one of the first listed Bitcoin ETFs because we got the approval faster here in Canada. What else is new?
That's the hedged one.
Yeah. Oh, is this one the hedged one? Okay.
The BTCC is the currency hedged one. BTCC.B is the non-hedged ETF.
Right.
But yeah, like this is, I'm the same way. Like I think it was a host of us, because here in Canada, this you can put into like your tax-free savings account, right? So it's like, hey, you can now own Bitcoin. This was way before IBIT or anything.
Yes.
And you could buy into this. Kind of wishing I'd bought the dip a little more aggressively, but I remember putting my Bitcoin mostly into this like right away. It would definitely in the first month. So probably should have bought the dip a little bit more aggressively, but shout out to Purpose.
Yeah.
Good
Thanks,
look there.
Purpose.
But at the end of the day,
Is it Purpose though? I didn't check.
Is it purposeful?
No, I didn't know if it's them.
Well, Bitcoin, however, if we're actually looking at what's going on today, obviously it's performed well if you've been holding it for years. But if you bought it at the open, you're losing right now. And if you bought it last night, then you're losing. We're a little bit of a stair step into the downside here. The headline this morning that Adara brought had much more to do with specific equity in crypto investments. So you'll see SBET down 8.5%. And then BMNR, which I'll never now invert that and go BMRN, down 7% as well. So these are the names that are bleeding a heck of a lot more. And looking pretty weak. So unfortunately, these are the ones that are taking the brunt end of this little crypto pullback. It is specific to the individual equity names. The other thing it's going to try to go is, if I'm going to go, Oleg just put something in the chat that I had to check out, because someone just said what's going on with Intel. Usually nothing, but if you're asking, then something probably is. We're pulling back into VWAP on open. It hasn't come all the way back in to tag it like the previous time. So if we don't do that, I might have to get a bit of a higher low on this bad boy. But yeah, so far so good. And apparently we're going to Adara for the small cap recap, which apparently Opendoor is no longer one.
Apparently Purpose has...
Yeah, just so you guys know, this hearing here, or this testimony for Stephen Moran and a couple other nominees in the financial space is still happening there at the Senate. He has not begun speaking yet. There's just still doing intros, but to let you guys know that is occurring, I'll let you know if anything said is of note with regards to the Fed. Let's take a look here at the IWM, which certainly running into a little bit of resistance here around that 234.70 level. Some weakness here for the Russell 2000, but we are still well above yesterday's lows. Let's take a look at some of these small cappers here, starting with, not all of these are super small caps, fair warning, but names of note here pushing higher. Opendoor on watch, OPEN. Apparently, the former CEO, Kerry Wheeler, who was widely criticized by the retail base who follows Opendoor, actually cashed out more shares. Interesting note here for OPEN, not necessarily explaining the push up, but we know Opendoor has received quite a lot of retail attention. That trend does not seem to have ended here. OSCR also on watch again, not a super small market cap here, just under $5 billion. Just under $5 billion market cap. Yesterday morning, they did actually reiterate their guidance range, which is above estimates for their fiscal 2025 sales guide. And last but not least, we'll take a look at CIGL, Concord. This one is certainly a smaller cap name. We've got a pretty small float here, around 1 million shares, already giving back some of this move, but on watch. No news here for CIGL, and back to you.
All right, we are absolutely printing like crazy. This will be my #1 stock today, and that is thankful to Amazon, as it is now huge. It is now another club member. So we've got a couple club members today. Unfortunately, Tesla did not hold the dollar club, but there goes Amazon after a couple shots, at this, and just basing out again. I never want to leave a stock if I like it. So that's going to be something there for Amazon. Like, I had to leave Tesla because I've seen such a dramatic move in this play, and we didn't really base out on this, but Amazon right here did have a base out. We should have even gotten longer there. I was waiting for a little lower in the name, but there it goes, man. Nice trading there today. We're green on the day. We did lose on Tesla. We got AEO has been a good one, and then Amazon has really helped, obviously, with that. So, yeah, there it goes, man. 2 for 3 today on the trading. And then the missed opportunity for me, I would say, was AMD short early, but it's not like it's printing short now. I think it's based short. So we could have picked on this one, but we went long with Amazon instead of short with Advanced Micro Devices. I like the story with Amazon. I mean, solidifying there with Axio, solidifying their fintech hold in the space there, and that's what we tweeted out earlier, that we like this Amazon long. It didn't get into the area. There was basically no dip buying opportunities at all, but there it goes right now. Dollar in the money now on Amazon, and so far so good. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. I'm hoping for longer here. Taking out the day's high, 234.50 is where we're looking now for Amazon.
Yeah, and I see in the chat people are mentioning PayPal here.
Yeah, I just heard something. What was that?
I heard it but didn't catch it completely. I'm just kind of looking on the X machine here, or the Twitter machine, to see what's going on. PayPal down 4.5%. I do not see it on our news source. No. But yeah, PayPal, and this is recent, like this was not dropping this way at the open and the market's bouncing here, and PayPal is getting absolutely smoked. Yeah, relatively weak. I'm not seeing anything as far as news goes. So my guess is, I saw in the chat that Darwin just said they're presenting somewhere. That I was about to say, like, there's a bunch of conferences going on, so a lot of times something can get said at a conference and it takes a while to matriculate. But either way, PayPal bucking the trend of the market because the market's bouncing back pretty heavily.
Let's go, dog.
And yeah, I don't like them. PayPal. We do like channel checks. It's like, I don't know. I don't use them anymore.
That's funny. I just bought.
Oh, you do use them? Okay,
I use PayPal all the time.
Oh, you do?
I just spent.
I just don't.
I paid for my shoes with PayPal. That was a couple $100, and then we bought. Well, my kid's at school, so I can say I bought a MacBook for her last night. Used PayPal, so yeah. It's to your point though. I think you're right.
I don't.
Now with Google Pay, no, and that was the whole thing. And I remember we actually did something about this. I don't know if it was on the show or just my opinion or what it was, but I remember talking about it, and we were like. Now the best part about PayPal is when you log into websites and you just select now buy PayPal, you're not giving any more information out. You're just giving your PayPal information. PayPal's handling it, so all of your data is in one spot. But now it's like, now that Marissa, she got the iPhone 16 Pro, she hooked up her Apple Pay, and now it's like everywhere she goes, she's just tapping her phone. Maybe that's the problem. But just tapping her phone so easily now, and I think that's something that for us, PayPal, man, you can't do that with PayPal, actually.
And Google as well. I mean, whether you have Google Wallet, it's just all the same thing. But I do believe, are we going to Adara? Okay, let's go to Adara. I think. Yeah,
I looked into PayPal. I'm not seeing anything on this. The one thing is apparently this was one, with Google, we know had that, I guess they were ordered to pay multiple millions of dollars, apparently allowing access when it wasn't, even when users of the app did not want Google to access their information. PayPal was apparently one of the app's access, but that's pretty tenuous. That's all I'm seeing on PYPL. Not a ton of social media interest either for this name. Back to you. Oh, and we have to thank our friends here at Trade the Pool. Every trader knows that if you want to grow, you have to risk more. At least that's how it used to be. Trade the Pool is changing that. It's the new revolution in stock trading. You don't need a large deposit. Trade the Pool is built for any trader who wants to grow without putting everything on the line, just small skin in the game, and you're trading real capital. Here's how it works. You pay a one-time evaluation fee starting at $47. That is your total risk. From there, you trade real shares, no CFDs, using company capital. Head to tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on the screen. Back to you.
get it there. Thank you very much.
The early yawns, the early
I love the discussion about PayPal. They have a nice discount on many items on the app, so I guess there's, yeah, you know what?
They do, okay.
And again, I was just sort of talking about my personal experience where I essentially don't use them any. Like I don't find myself using PayPal like I used to.
I don't think I use
a few years ago.
Anymore.
So, you know, congratulations. Congratulations is not the right word. Everyone sort of has their own preferences, but what really matters, I think, when we're talking about the markets and trading, is PayPal has basically sat out this rally. I get it; it's up from those April lows, but everything's up from the April lows. It's just never really caught wind. Unfortunately, it's relatively weak. Somebody's been dumping this at $70 for a while now. Man, that's been like, why aren't we just shorting this thing at $70 every single day? And then the more I look at it, somebody else is. So why wouldn't you join that kind of a party? Yeah, unfortunately for PayPal, it doesn't look very good there. And I see a lot of people putting in, Webull has put in the chat there, and then Walmart, which we talked about a little bit more. Walmart is back above that $100 level, and it's had a pretty good week. Let's just say, we're talking a little bit about Costco, but Walmart's almost filled in this little rounded bottom gap in the last couple of days, and this is on a churn. I think this is headed back into its highs. It's an expensive stock, so it's always tricky. Always want to get a better dip buy price, but it's been holding a very clean trend over the 200 period moving average, and even the dip after earnings wasn't enough for it to get there. When these quality companies dip on earnings, once they catch a base, you're seemingly just good to go. Show a little base, and you're good to go. Amazon showed a base, and of course, I hit enter without going over to Nasdaq. So there we go. Amazon caught a base after its earnings. That's an example of a good company with, I thought, good earnings, and now it's going higher and higher. So end of the day, buy quality companies, especially if you think you're getting a discount in the days after earnings when the market decides to punish them.
Yep, exactly. And look at Marvell if you need more information there. All right, so Tesla's going. Congratulations, anybody that was able to hydrate and relax and get a nice sip of water and buy that dip there, because now you're being rewarded $2. So $2 off the bottom there for Tesla. We tried it there. Good win, good L. So flat on Tesla, red on Tesla on the day, but it's because we didn't take out enough, right? Whenever we get stopped out, it's for virtually 100% of our position. So that's why sometimes it does not work out in my favor, doing that sort of part outs, but it's been working so far, just not here today on Tesla. So we'll be red on that one. Amazon, again, sometimes this is what I'm talking about when you inch out of stocks. Sure, you don't have the best price, but at least you have something. And there it comes right up there into the price of $234 and change. We got that a couple times today. That's been the top there for Amazon. And the market's not really doing anything. I'm wondering, what is holding this market up? So let's have a quick little look at a market heat map here and just give, Joe does a great job looking at the sectors and everything, but I'm just gonna quickly look over here. I don't need these guys to keep showing me what this product is. Google right now, smack there to the downside. So if you are like me and you're trying to think about names that you'd like to get longer in, possibly, right there, Google today getting hit. Meta, I am attention to Darrow, anything on Meta. We haven't really covered too much news there, thank you. On that one, up 2% today, so that's pretty sweet. Yes, sir, JP Morgan. And just like I told Joe and Sharif yesterday, the minute you sell a good company, you'll look back and realize that you made a mistake. So we sold some at $299.50 or so yesterday. So I don't even want to look to see what JP Morgan's at today. It must be at that 303 or so level right there. Maybe not. AbbVie and healthcare. But look at finance today, really holding nothing.
Crushing.
Yeah, nothing down today. Schwab. I've been liking financials. Berkshire, not a huge financial play. It is, but insurance space as well as they get more love there. But look at the financials today. Huge move upside there. Looks like, okay, producer manufacturing as well today, getting a nice little bump there as the Nasdaq kind of finding its ways. So generally speaking, when this sector moves, they all will move. Hopefully some better global certainty, right? I don't know if you saw that yesterday, President Xi, and again, the media just spun this because there was lots of leaders there. But China had their military parade, similar to what I guess similar.
You hear about the hot mic incident?
No, what was that?
Well, apparently there was a hot mic moment where she and forget who he was talking to.
Okay.
They got caught talking about
The demise of the US.
organ transplants and people living to 150 years and all this stuff. It was just it's kind of bizarre.
Good.
And a little bit weird.
I want leaders talking about that. Maybe they know something that we don't know. I mean, more life.
I want
Let's
our
go.
leaders
More
talking
life.
about that. I don't know.
Oh, well, our leaders just don't get caught on hot mics. But it was funny what Trump, I don't know if you guys saw the truth out there that Trump put out about all of it. I'll try to find it and get it to you guys, where he was saying that it's great to see everybody. I'm friends with everybody here, but it's great to see them conspiring or something against the world. Here, hold on a second. I'm just going to find it on Instagram because I'm pretty sure. Yo, what's up, Donald? I don't even know if he's... What? This is not real Donald Trump, is it? Oh yeah, it must be. What's this? Oh my God, he tweeted something out with this guy with this face on there. Okay, I don't know. Is this where it was here? No. Okay, I'll have to find it because he doesn't post on Instagram. It has to be reposted, right? And so, anyways, I'll find that quote. But right there, is this his real account? It must be. Yeah, 36.9. What is he doing here? Isn't that Gavin Newsom or what is this? Right there.
My goodness.
Anyways, wow. Okay, this guy never fails, man. We could probably go through his Instagram and find some fun stuff there. So yeah. Anyways, my only point of doing that was to try to find his quote about China, North Korea, and Russia. So maybe
I'm willing to bet that Adara knows it off by heart.
Adara?
Oh no. Oh
no! Okay, she doesn't know it, so I'm going to find it for everybody.
So I'm telling you, I looked this morning as well because it was gapped up too. I saw nothing. The one thing you could maybe argue might be of interest is both Mark Zuckerberg and Alexander Wang, who's the new head of Meta CEO. They are invited to that Trump dinner tonight, but that's tenuous at best. I promise I am seeing nothing, and I looked thoroughly both times.
All right.
Thank you, as always. Thank
Nothing
you,
on
Adara.
Meta, huh?
But I can tell you right now, Palantir is green. And Palantir is now, it's back above 156. This swath of buying in the mid 150s has been impressive for Palantir. It's not doing a heck of a lot with it in either direction, but it's all bottoming tail wicks here with most of the body above, right? So that does seem like I understand like this morning it was a short, but that kind of signals long at these prices. And it's right at, as we speak, it's at the 50 period on the daily. So if it closes this next 15-minute bar holding this high break, I got to start thinking long on Palantir. As much as it was a short this morning, somebody is accumulating this stock. And bottoming tail, again, sideways action is accumulation, but the bottoming tail candles tell me buy on it. So yeah, day trade was the short, but if it closes at 15, I got to start looking in the other direction. Opendoor is again tempting to break out that high of the day. It does not at any point get back to the volume weighted average price, but if it fails this high, remember there's overhead resistance from a couple of days ago. If we fail this top, then I'm going to duck out and buy the next available dip on the Opendoor. Again, just a squeeze play. And sometimes when the market has an inside day, you get these squeeze runners that are the ones to go. Ooh, Cracker Barrel, I just heard.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel popping. Donald Trump posted something.
Oh, another post. Yeah.
Donald Trump posted something on Crackle Barrel. Oh, yeah, their logo, that's right. There was a story there. Okay, just real quick, man. I mean, this is what we're doing, and there it goes. It's AEO. So, again, short. I wrote down 1830 as a level there, and when it was up there, I was saying I didn't want to short because if I put on some more shares down there and it blows through, then I'll give back everything that we had made here. So now that we're coming back into view up, we identified view up once, twice, thrice as good areas. So we'll take it 4 times. The only time it broke, it was quick to come right back. It broke and came right back in 2 minutes. So that 2-minute candle definitely looming here on American Eagle Outfitters. I feel bad about Amazon because it's 30 cents in the money. It's a positive stock, but like the market's doing this right here on the Nasdaq, and Amazon is doing this. So it is not the strong name that I had thought it could be here heading into this rip. So unfortunately, we got out of Tesla, which is the strongest name of this rip. But, or not the strongest, but is a big name there. Maybe AMD. And remember, the levels that I'm writing down anyways, at that time, at early in the day, these are for like pre-market trades and things like that. So whatever we're seeing right now may not hold. into the close, right, or into the rest of the day. So right now, AMD looking relatively strong, relatively strong considering what I thought. But now that the market's doing this and AMD's doing that, I wonder if we can sort of engage now on that short thinking on AMD because it's pulling negative against the market. So just a thought there for AMD, maybe worth getting into. It's 10:36 right now. You want to talk about Opendoor? I know we have to.
It just wicked that high. So like I said, if it failed that high break, I would jump out of it. It just wicked it. You could still end up going higher and maybe pull into the. Is this an all-time high on Opendoor? I should double check.
Not this, man. $20 or something.
Yeah, it's this 52-week high.
This is the skim off.
Yeah, it's like that's right. It did like a few years ago. But 585, 586. It still has a little bit of room to go, but it's tight enough to it that take the out, look for the next available trade if we can get it. 545 is now around the volume-weighted average price. It's respected it so far. We'll see if it does again, and we'll go to the desk to Adara.
For one, Netflix here is really strong. I haven't found any news on this, but I wanted to let you guys know about NFLX. Really nice move for this one. It's actually at day's high. CBRL, also I want to mention. So Trump's X account reposted this video, but it's worth noting Trump himself actually posted it last night. So that Cracker Barrel video is not news. I just wanted to clarify that as well. Sorry, it's hard to hear and hear as well because I'm listening to some nomination hearings. So just to provide a little bit of context on Cracker Barrel, back to you.
All right.
CRBL. Or is it? Yeah, whatever. Probably not that tradable, but no bearish moves on Bull. Webull. So much for this. Yeah, we'll slap the fail on the old. Let's eventually buy the dip. No, I just haven't bought the dip on Webull, but it has now put a double bottom. I don't know why I'm hitting the fail because technically, I only said if it closed today holding this level, I would look to buy here instead of $11 or underneath $11. But Webull up 3%, going with the market. I mean, the market is incredibly strong, which is why it's weird. I know you mentioned it, but I think it's weird too. Like the first initial dip buy on Amazon was good, but since then, it's just not following the market. It's just holding the highs. And sometimes we see this passing of the baton style where something goes early, and then as the market catches up, it's consolidating and other names start to show a little bit of strength, like Tesla, some of the chip names, and then maybe it comes back to Amazon a bit later. But for now, we're bucking the trend of the overall market despite the positive news that Amazon was able to garner. In terms of earnings names, Salesforce, I mean, it's not going to go green today. Let's be real. But Salesforce is clawing back after poor guidance. That seems to be the story this quarter. If your guidance is even a little bit weak, you're getting punished really heavily. This was almost double digits to the downside, not quite 10%, but it got relatively close, and it's battling back pretty heavily. So a little bit of a bottom got put in by CRM. I still think you give it the 3-day rule. This is not, like Salesforce is what? Like the worst performing large cap company on the year in the US.
No, it's second worst in the Dow. Probably UNH. It's the second worst in the Dow.
Oh, well, UNH. Yeah.
I don't know. You said on the year? Maybe.
Probably I think it's tech.
After today.
It was worse than CRM.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
UNH is UNH is
after
UNH.
today, you might. No, but after today, you might be right. I don't know. I just heard it yesterday during when I was looking up for their report.
Either way, it's been bad. So I wouldn't be celebrating this little bounce that it has yet. Give it a couple of days.
6%.
But the fact that it, after the quarter, didn't make a fresh low and is holding the bid now, I think
it still is down on the day.
Decent slide. It's down 6%.
Yeah, but I think when we opened, remember, it was only down like 5% or something like that. And now I have a new position alert, so we'll just hit this and we'll go over to Adara. Apple's sleeping on itself right now. So let's just wait. If it breaks through 237, we're going to be gone out of this one. But I'm going to start a small position here in Apple and then see if we can get bigger down here near 237. So small position alert here for Apple, Amazon long, AEO short. So this has been the short that's been printing all day. Amazon long has been in trouble. We just discussed that. But a new position right now in Apple. I'm just noticing that it's doing this, man. I was almost long at 240 on that break there, right? And it was just during that sort of euphoria of the market. When we sort of spiked up right there, and then we did not get to day's high of the market, and we did not get through 240 for Apple. I like the level. It's key. It's been here a while, so we'll see if it breaks through there now. Obviously, this move now is trying to catch a bottom, similarly to what Tesla did there earlier. It's 1040. There it is right there, that Tesla sort of move right into there. So we'll see if Apple can sort of follow suit with that. And we'll wait for it, though. I got to have some patience here. It's only 1040, and we're going to go over to the desk with Adara.
Keep an eye here in NBIS as well. Uber just announced that it's ramping up its their partnership there. It's called, I guess, AV Ride with NBIS, again, and Uber. They're going to be ramping up their testing of these autonomous EVs in Dallas ahead of their robotaxi launch later this year. So again, Uber-related partnership being ramped up for NBIS. That's NBIS. And we're going to take a look here at this heat map. Retail trade really strong. Amazon here with a couple different catalysts, including Business Insider reporting these AI agents that they're trying to work on here. Good look. GEV, which we know was down pretty sharply one day earlier this week, actually leading the producer manufacturing sector to the upside today. Communications relatively strong. Commercial services mostly strong here with the notable exception of PayPal down. I've still not seen a catalyst on that. Finance pretty green as mentioned earlier. Electronic technology does have some strength as well. But then we have tech services, which is super, super mixed here. CRM sharply lower here on earnings. Adobe to the downside as well. Oracle and Google red. Meta green. Again, no story that I could find on this. And Netflix to the upside as well. So these tech sectors are really mixed. But in terms of strength in the market, retail, trade, finance, and producer manufacturing seem like the best places to find that strength right now. Back to you.
I was just telling Sean, GEV about 4%. It's so much easier when the market's doing a bear move to buy the dips in the companies you like than when the market's barely doing anything and like your stock pulls back, like GE Vernova for myself. Like 4% up today, it's almost back at the 600 level. Like my entire thinking was, hey, things got a little too parabolic. Let's take some profit on GE Vernova. I'm doing a voice to mock myself, but the whole idea of a company in your long term is if you take some profit on it, you're looking to get back in. And I was sort of thinking you'd get down at least into the low to mid 500s. And it's already catching a bit after earnings and back at the 50-period moving average. So, you know, that's just kind of how it is sometimes. And you, in your long term, sometimes you trim with the notion of being able to get back those shares at a better price. The market doesn't always give a darn what you think. You know, it's going to bounce wherever it wants to bounce and not just some random level that you happen to like on your chart. And in the long term, in day trading, that's great. In day trading, you stick to your levels. In the long term, sometimes you have to just grit your teeth and say, I shouldn't care about 5% or something like that. Or if I'm only buying a small portion of the position, what do I care about a few percentage points or a few dollars here or there? You just want to get back in. I've seen a few people mention this Neon stock. Just be careful here. I know it's running, and it's probably a popular small cap runner. Anytime you go from like $4 to $5, that's a pretty good move. This was $22 yesterday. So like the risk inherent in this seems gigantic, and it's at the pre-market highs. Volume's 30 million, so it's decent volume. But in terms of actual liquidity, where'd that go? In terms of actual liquidity, 30 million, but there's not a ton of liquidity on this stock. That's representative of a stock that was 20 bucks yesterday and now $5. So, you know, no one ever went broke taking profits on something like this. Just be careful with it. I understand $4 to $5 looks good, but this has the profile of a stock that could lose that dollar it gained very, very quickly.
Yeah, AEO downside there. Yeah, I mean, all these stocks, I mean, I agree. I wish the market wasn't so bullish. Right? Oh, we should look at some bullish maybe as well. But we're going to take advantage of this move down in AEO and take another piece out. All right, so we're long at 237.67 now because we get some 50s. So I'm going to wait for Apple. I'm going to take a bigger position here down at this level. You never know if it's going to fall down. So take a little bit of risk, and then you're going to see here, I'm bidding 20s, and it's going to completely change my average price. I'm actually going to put on, so right now I have 1 unit. I'm going to put on 2 more down here and get 3 units into this play and hope that it works out there right now. So we're going to wait to see what happens with Apple. A little bit of a downside play here coming in. I bet you it's AMD and so on that is starting to, lead the way. It's not. NVIDIA as well there today. No, still up on the day, so that's nice. AEO, we talked about it. What are some other plays? What about Uber? Uber could be a good little play there. Figma's bouncing. Okay, we'll definitely have a look over there as well. But there goes Uber today, down 1.37%. Keep saying that these tops in and around here, 96, 97, it's a stock I don't want to sell, but it feels right to do that up here for Uber as we ramp up the robo-taxi discussion and we sort of ramp up some of those, you know, I guess, like there's Waymo, and you know, we've talked about it as some of these lower models of the Tesla, the cheaper model, could be good for Uber if they can get that fleet going and then just automate it all and potentially do a full self-drive angle to Uber. So I think there's going to be some plays there. I wouldn't even be surprised if there potentially is some kind of a deal or something even between Uber and Tesla. I think that something can eventually get worked out there. I don't know. That might be completely way off, as I'm guessing that Elon probably wants to do everything himself, right? So Broadcom earnings obviously looked at as well here on the feed. So we'll have to look to see if that's doing anything today. Look at Broadcom just hovering out, waiting for that report right now for Broadcom. 304.50 holding now for AVGO. Probably one of the strongest names in this space today, Broadcom. Seems to always be that way. But all right, let's go back over to the desk and see what Dara's up to.
Question is,
yeah, just be aware here. Blink charging on watch, not moving much, but this catalyst is interesting. BLNK apparently going to be accepting crypto payments at their EV chargers. So keep an eye on Blink charging here. Back to you.
I saw that story there. That's
Blink.
An interesting one for sure.
Well, the good news for Blink, I think, is Blink the one that's $1?
Oh no, maybe.
It is, right? Yeah, it's exactly. Well, yeah, more or less.
Accepting crypto payments at their charging locations.
And look how much that's moving.
Interesting.
But you know what? Hey, why not? It's been trending higher, and the dollar level is a pretty good level. But no, my eyes are now firmly set on two stocks. SMCI, I want to take another shot. I shorted the initial pop on SMCI because we didn't get that AMD off the open, but look at the bounce right off of yesterday's low. So I had a bit of a tight stop on it, but look at the clean trend since. All those dips, all lining up on SMCI. So this feels like a trend break into the volume weighted average price for SMCI. And the other one that's going, Figma, maybe they figured it out here with Figma to catch a bit of a bottom. 25, a quarter of the available float, well, a quarter of the available shares for employees had their lockup expire. So maybe they sold some at the open. We don't know for a fact. It was their first report. It was actually, they did beat expectations and had solid growth if you look at the if you look at the metrics in the year over year. But this stock, since its inception, outside of the first amazing 15 minutes, which we all had a lot of fun with, it might have been longer than 15 minutes, but it always feels like it's just, it goes up and you're so much fun, then it halts and then makes another high and then just dump. And then it did that for a couple of days, and then, well, more than a couple of days. Fresh lows, but the stock trying to figure out where it should be after their first report. But there is some buying action coming in, and I see that trend up. I wanted to be shorting any pops in this name, nowhere near 61.5, the aftermarket top. It's getting closer to the pre-market high, so now it's in the target zone to look for that run to the downside. So I got Figma and SMCI that are on my watch. Opendoor, I'm just going to quickly show you Opendoor is still holding some higher lows. So no re-entry for me in Opendoor till it gives me a proper dip somewhere in there. Like those squeeze names, but I don't want to be, I'm not buying it at the highs of the day, not in the middle of the day. In the open, you take some breakout trades, but 11 o'clock breakouts are not my cup of tea.
Okay, yeah, no, exactly. It's 10:50 right now, and again, thanks for everybody for joining us. We do have this cool thing called the Stock Visualizer that we look at every day, and right now, yeah, Opendoor, wow, I'm gonna push pause on this right now. Congratulations for Opendoor right there, 10% right now. Tesla flat, that's not the right, oh yeah, it is the right price for Tesla. Tesla's come back in right there. It was just 334, so right now Tesla moving around. Palantir, green, nicely green, up 1% today. That's a good one. Robinhood, we talked about Robinhood holding off that $100 level, so that could be pretty important too. Amazon, I'm in the name. We're flat on it right now, but it is making moves here. Amazon on the day, so definitely something to look out for there. Meta up 2.5%. We didn't find any stories there, but that's what I'm saying about these Mag 7 names. You don't need stories, man. You just need to trade them long. It seems like in this bull market, and then wait for a story. There's always something good coming around the corner, I feel like. Figma down to $57, down 16%. HIMS, a well talked about name for sure around these places. That's now up 5% today. day. And Apple, we're waiting for that to pop. I don't know. We're waiting for that 237 level. But again, get into the chat, hit the like, hit the subscribe.
Ozan wants a cash cow.
Oh, Ozan wants a cash cow. Okay, we'll do that. What's up, Ozan, right there. But this is how you get on that board, by putting like this. $ Neo, $ whatever you want. That's how you get going there. What's up, Neil and Ozan right there. So we hit it for you. Thanks, Neil, for bringing that up. And here we go. Amazon, just quickly, we're going to go to Adara. Trying to hold off 232. If we break 232, we're out. And here we go, man. Now Apple... we're in. So here we go. You can see our average price now, 237.33. Told you we're going to go longer down here, bigger size. So let's now see what happens with Apple dancing around now. I don't like when it moves, counter the market too much, and right now it's going down. So we'll take a shot here, dropping this out in a matter of minutes on Apple. All right, market continues to go lower. Let's go over to Adara and check out an update here. It's 10 minutes to 11.
Bit of a drop here in some things. Not quite seeing what's happening here with the market. I'm not seeing any news on this anyway, but I'll let you guys know if I see anything else. US dollar, this is the 3-minute chart. I mean, we've seen the daily. The daily still super rangy and consolidated, but the 3-minute, we are in a bit of an uptrend here. We did get some economic data today that was a little bit mixed. ISM services PMI a little bit higher than expected, 52 versus 51 expected. That came in at 10, but then at 9:45, we actually had both S&P services and S&P composite PMI a little bit below estimates. So we're going to be looking at the CME FedWatch tool here with all that economic data in mind. 97.6% of participants, that's right, the vast majority, now see a 25 basis point cut, with only 2.4% of participants expecting that we're going to see rates held at the current rate at this next meeting. So really interesting stuff here. It looks like this 25 basis point cut is all but confirmed. And speaking of confirmations, we're going to go from the CME FedWatch to Trader TV FedWatch and take a look at, talk about some Fed-related news here. Lisa Cook. We're going to focus on this side of the board here. Lisa Cook on watch here. She did reportedly receive, according to the Wall Street Journal, a subpoena from the Department of Justice with regards to her alleged mortgage fraud. They're going to be investigating that officially now, it looks like. Again, according to this Wall Street Journal report, Stephen Myron here, the bottom individual, he is actually currently in his nomination hearing. He and a couple other individuals nominated for financial related roles within the government. He's currently having this nomination hearing. He did say that he believes Fed independence is paramount, but he is facing a little bit of pushback with regards to whether or not he will allow President Trump's views to actually override his own views on the economy there. So it'll be pretty interesting look here. We'll have to see if he gets confirmed. Very, very exciting confirmation hearing, to be sure, as we send you back to Neil. And Sean, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And if you like infographics like this, check us out on X at TTV Research. Back to you.
Thanks, Adara. I was just saying to Neil, like, what the hell just happened with Apple? Because Apple right now is now like huge there. We told you exactly, we based it out exactly what we were doing, man. We told you that we were going to buy 1 unit of average there, put on another 2 units down there. So that's what we did. And there goes Apple. Huge move to the upside for no reason. The market's doing nothing. So Apple goes upside. We cleared out of half right now. Our best fill is at that 200 period moving average right there for Apple. But wow, what a stock. Now, my number one name on the day is Apple, and there she goes, man. Huge move there to the upside there right now. So, yeah, nice move there. Amazon also pulled down and then back up a little bit here. So, oh boy, we got a big one there today. Thanks, everybody, for watching today. It'll be Obi and Neil tomorrow, and then Obi and Sharif, I believe, on the midday. So you're getting a double-decker dose of Obi tomorrow. So, yeah, congratulations to everybody's trading today. It's going to be a green one over here, and I want to thank Apple primarily for that, because if this went the other way, we would not be in Greensville, but we are, so it's a good one there. Let's see what happens with Apple now the rest of the day. Maybe we have the bottom, maybe we don't. I'm going to take one more out up top, and then we'll see if we can get something in and around VWAP, but so far so good there. And then Amazon, scaring me a little bit, so I'm getting a little bit out here on Amazon. Don't want to give up the Apple gains by putting an L here on AMZN. So yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, so far so good, no questions asked. And the Nasdaq is trying to go higher, but we've been basically, sideways.
Yeah.
Like if you look at only 5 minutes to go, like this is, here, if you zoom out, it's a little bit easier to say. It seems like we're moving a heck of a lot more if you don't zoom out but look at the last couple of sessions, and you can certainly see we're condensing in action, but we're condensing higher. So that's a good sign that we're trending up in the overall market, but we are condensing for potential, maybe a breakout or a fail tomorrow, who knows. We'll see. Those highs need to get taken out. SMCI finally came in and broke the trend line, so I am in the short. To VWAP is always a plan of action at this particular moment. SMCI, no particular news here on SMCI at all. It just started running right into yesterday's highs, and wait for it, tried it at the pre-market resistance, and then we'll try it again, second level. And if it breaks here, I wouldn't even try shorting again until about 41.30, 41.50. But looking for the pullback into the volume weighted average prices. Some of the chip names have had a good run. Broadcom reports tonight, but NVIDIA, it's hard for the market to break out. Like, we keep resisting that high and we go inside because of things like this. Like, NVIDIA is just kind of languishing in the middle, not doing much of anything. And you have some stocks which are super strong.
Come on, Amazon.
Amazon was super strong, and then, then it kind of stopped, then Apple started going, and then at one point Meta was strong. But I think we need NVIDIA to participate. And importantly, as you were mentioning, Sean, Broadcom, which is one of the largest companies in the world, one of the largest in the S&P and the Nasdaq, look at this riding the volume weighted average price. It is just lower highs and somebody holding this stock underneath VWAP. Now, if Broadcom and NVIDIA can both break out from this diddling in the middle nonsense, then I think you see some extension. But I'm obviously watching them a little bit closer, because if they start breaking out, my guess is SMCI is going to break out, which I happen to be in the short. So keep an eye on Broadcom. That's a key 305 volume weighted average price. Keep an eye on potentially if NVIDIA can break that trend. Because I think that could be what's holding us back from taking out the top in the Nasdaq and the overall market, which has been trying to go. And been asked so many times in the chat about Intel. Sometimes Intel just moves and there's nothing particular going on with it. And you'd make the argument that the market's gently going up and Intel's gently going up. So I would leave it at that. There's no story on Intel. It's nowhere near the big bottoms on the daily chart that anybody would like, which is underneath 20 bucks, is generally where you want to be buying this stock. But certainly 24.25 has been a bit of a double top. So I'm short SMCI. I'm not shorting Intel and SMCI when the market's at the highs, but this could be an interesting little breakout play if it can close a 15-minute candle above that 25 level. I'll keep Intel on the radar, but SMCI, I'm looking short at these highs, and I prefer SMCI.
Yeah, I'm selling Intel immediately as soon as if it can get anywhere near that $26 mark. So we're waiting for that. Okay, so, after all these averages in, well, not after all these, we cleared out of it, and then we got some more. So we got some 40s, and then we got some 20s, giving us this average price of 34, 35. So when it ripped back up, we were able to get some out at the 21 period, but ultimately waiting for a bigger move here on Amazon as well. With only a minute and a half left, thank everybody for joining today. 109 right there. If you haven't done so, hit the like right now. I don't know, I guess I got to refresh this one more time to see how many likes we actually have. But Intel getting the pop right now, as we talked about Trump and whatnot, probably talking about everything. But there it is right now, 1K. Thank you so much for the likes. Hit the like button if you can. 7,000 watching, so not as many right now on that side of things. But there goes Amazon. There goes Bitcoin now breaking through 109. I think this might be the low of the day here for IBIT. Yeah, or close enough to it. So watch out for a break here in IBIT. One thing we forgot to do today, and I'm surprised because Joe's been sitting there the whole day, is what is for lunch. So Joe, on your last lunch of the week, same as me, today we get a treat, ladies and gentlemen, and it's generally been something that you buy when Donald Trump talks about tariffs, but today it is Taco Thursday, everybody. So there it is. That's what's for lunch, and it's not fruit salad. There we go, but it will be tacos, chicken and beef. Oh, and here we go. This reminds me of our thing that we had at Earl's. There is apparently a vegetarian option here. So there we go. Tacos, chicken and beef with vegetarian toppings, lettuce, red onion, tomatoes, cheese, jalapenos as well.
Yes.
With what I'm actually excited about this, a corn salad. So something a little different. We haven't had things like that in just a minute right there, but that is what's for lunch. So Taco Thursday happening around here.
I'm down with
Ciao, American Eagle Outfitters, as we get a nice little downside move right there. Your boy nailed this one, and boy, oh boy, Apple today, American Eagle Outfitters, Amazon, all great names there. Too bad we didn't hold on to Tesla, but we'll see if we can get that one again. But it's Amazon, it's AEO, man, and there it is right there. Make sure you do check the sticky note every single day except for tomorrow, because we ain't in.
Rook 78, I have been waiting for Taco Day.
Yeah.
Because famously around here, the very first time, we've had catered lunch here on the trading floor for years. And the first time ever in like 20-something years that tacos were here, I happened to have the day off. And so we're rectifying that today. Hopefully they're delicious. Hopefully we get the tacos with the salad lunch. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed.
We will
have to
not.
steal some from the back.
Apple is
We
going
might get them. But look, obviously everybody will be back at 2 o'clock. Right now you got the professor in DLTH.
Let's go.
You've got Joey options, short the TQQs. And go get them, gentlemen.
Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome